What's up, y'all? How we doing tonight? Do we have lefty audio today? It's always a possibility, but I think we're doing all right so far. All right. How are we? Audio is good? Yes. Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Gay Fish. Yes. Happy birthday to you. And another trip around the sun successfully. We did it. Good job. You've stayed alive once more. Hello to the YouTube chat really quick. There's Foxgloved. Firecrafted Gaming says, oh damn, I just happened to see this. Nice. We're on a schedule on this stream. I think that I am more on schedule than any of the streamers that I look up to. Like, I really, like, the people who I'm like, I think of these people as successful, and like those are the people that I consider to be like, that's the community that I would seek to be part of if I was going to have like peers as streamers. And it's like Vosh, Xanderhall, and Demon Mama. I don't think any of these people have a stream schedule. So we go Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 5 p.m. Central and Sundays at noon Central. Pretty much on a regular basis. Hello, Hoot. Welcome to the website. Nice. Welcome in. But yes, to the YouTube chat. Neon Cactus, hello, says I can't stay, but have a nice stream. Thank you. Hello, Caleb. Yeah, just know. Just know is the stream title today. Listen. DM used to have a schedule she kept to religiously, but it was making her miserable. Yeah, I think that when I started streaming, I was like, I'm going to stream on the days that Demon Mama doesn't, because first of all, I was there a lot, and second of all, because I was like, well, if we share an audience, which I think we probably will as trans leftists, then we might as well not stream on the same days. And since then, I have kept my stream schedule the same, and hers is just all over the place. It's like, yeah, and people always say that the consistency is the really important thing, and like, I do think that's the case with uploads, but I really am not sure if that's the case with streaming. So I don't know. I might have to talk to some people about that. Nice, In League with Satan. Salute you. Wiley Riley, that's a great name. Nikki, hello. Amalgam Frost Pink. Piper Lair. Ooh, some interesting names. Hello to my website, chat. I wasn't going to ignore you, of course. Hello, Morningstar System. Mama Mephistopheles. Hello, Junebug. I'm feeling too hot and sticky for May. Yo, I'm going to need to, like... lately, I wear, like, a tank top and a hoodie, but it's too fucking warm. Like, I have my thermostat set at, like, 77, and it's warm, and my air is still kicking on a lot. And of course, electricity is, like, the most expensive utility. So I try to keep that down to the extent that I can. And I'm just like, I'm gonna have to change something up. Like, I'm gonna have to start wearing t-shirts maybe instead of, like, tank tops so that I can not be, like, overwhelmingly warm in the face of this nuclear fucking photography light in front of me. I have one of those big box lights. It's like 2 feet by 2 feet. It's like, and the light bulb is like this big. Have you ever seen a light bulb this big? It's crazy. I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and sobbed multiple times. Don't talk to me about it. I will eventually watch it. It's going to take me a while because I'm stubborn like that, but I will be eventually watching it. That climate do be changing. I know. I mean, the thing is, it's not even that warm. My house is just not very well sealed or something. Like, it's cold in here in the winter. It's getting warm in here in the summer. It's not very well insulated or something. I don't know what the fucking deal is. Did you break your pinky? It's not broken. It just is in pain. Like, I did something to it right there. The connective tissue in my finger hurts. I was weightlifting today. And I was doing horizontal dumbbell rows. If you didn't know this, I'm a workout nerd now. And so horizontal dumbbell row is basically like you're leaning forward, you're in like you're on your haunches, you're in your horse stance, and you got your hand down on like a bench, and then with your arm, you're picking up like a dumbbell off the floor, and then you're doing some of these. You're like, I'm doing some of these, but your torso is like, yeah, so you're doing the lift and you're lifting against gravity like this. And it was just something about holding the dumbbell. Like, my hands, I have connective tissue issues. Like, this is what I mean when I say I think I have a mixed connective tissue problem, is like, while I'm working out, stuff like my ligaments hurt. Like, my hands hurt, you know, like around the knuckle area from having to exert strength to grasp, and stuff like, you know, this little ligament or tendon or whatever it is behind my elbow hurts when I'm doing my tricep workouts. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure I have mixed connective tissue disorder, some kind of EDS. And it's really mild. It's super mild, but I have to be careful, and I'm limited. You know, like, I probably could work out harder than I do if it weren't for the fact that, like, you have to account for your muscles will always get stronger than your connective tissue catches up, and that's not accounting for having issues with it. So I just kind of live my life under the assumption that I have EDS, and which is to say that I don't really refrain from doing anything in particular. I just am careful about it, you know? My hips love to suplex. I do. I have, like, pain in my hips sometimes. I also have, like, pressure. And does anybody else with a mixed connective tissue disorder also have, like, just pressure from, like, if you're sleeping on your side for too long, and you get, like, your not so much my shoulder, but sometimes my shoulder, but mostly, like, my hip hurts from the contact point between my hip and the bed. And that's what makes me want to get, like, the super softest, plushiest Casper mattress. Motherfucker. I was hoping to be able to get a nice, decent mattress this year, and now I owe a shit ton of money in taxes, and I might end up having to pay all of the taxes. Like, so I presently have, like, a fuck ton of credit card debt because I paid off my taxes that way. So, exclamation point GFM, if you would like to contribute to the GoFundMe for me to pay off my almost $2,000 in credit card debt. I'm trying to get back into working out. What's up, Dorian Gay? Gosh, it's hard. I did a few resistance band reps just now and was ready to pass out. You really got to ease into it. I did calisthenics like for 6 to 8 weeks before I started doing actual like weightlifting. So I mean, honestly, I would recommend like, and not just calisthenics, but the easy version of calisthenics. Like instead of doing push-ups, start with wall push-ups and try to do like 50 wall push-ups 3 times with like a few minute rest in between and see how that goes for you, you know, and like work up to it incrementally. Hi Lux, I want that hoodie. Is this something that Mr. Atheist sells anymore? I don't know, man. I didn't even buy it. I was sent it as a gift. I got a memory foam mattress and it's heaven. I think all connective tissue peeps should get them for free. Nice. What's up, Kimmeline? I haven't seen you around in a while. Good to see you at Alive. And hello, Sleepy Seroquel. It's wild how EDS feels like a very recent diagnosis and all of a sudden a bunch of people, celebrities even, are like, holy shit, I have that. Like, how do we go so long not understanding pain disorders? Right. You know, that it's just normal for you to be in debilitating pain. You know, my connective tissue issue, lel, that's fun to say. That might also be why I have such intense abdominal cramping with like my hormonal cycles. And like that might be the reason why the IUD really seriously didn't work out, because it could just be like that there is an as yet unstudied but notable correlation between increased abdominal pain and connective tissue disorders, according to my doctor. So he was like, I don't want you to freak out about how much pain you're in with this IUD, because it could just be that you have this additional problem with like the EDS type thing. Yeah. Ari had to have a full hysterectomy because of her EDS. Wow. Because of the pain of it, I had a bad time with IUD. Yo, Firecrafted Gaming. I had my IUD for about 7 months. And I've had it out since around my birthday, which was the end of March. And I am like still... I like still have like that sort of breakthrough bleeding type thing happening. It's fucking really annoying. And it was the most painful thing I have ever experienced. So that's cool. It's the shoulder for me. I use a pillow between my knees and I hug another and my head on a third. Yo, Ravel! You do like the same thing that I do. I have a memory foam pillow that's shaped to go between my knees, and that's how I sleep. And I have a pillow. I actually have a pillow on either side of my body so that when I roll over this way, I have a pillow. And then when I roll over this way, I have another pillow. And then the pressure of that pillow is like against my back because that feels nice. And then I have a pillow for my head. They make pillows for knees. I think I got mine at like at like the TV section of the store. You know when you go to a store and it's like as seen on TV? I think I went to Menards and got it there. What's up? Don't ooh my oh whoa. I wrap the blanket around my legs and I typically hug whatever I'm laying on. Yeah, I am like, sometimes my feet are sticking out from under the thing because I am regulating my temperature and stuff, you know? I have like a whole system set up right now. I mean, I slept with another human being in the bed for 13 years. And so it's like some of the things that I do are an adjustment to like not having a person in the bed. Like having the pillow on either side is like, okay, there's like the kind of no feet must never stick out. That's how he gets you. I love sticking my feet out from under the blankets. Go to Canadian Tire. They might have one. You could also go to Amazon. I bet that they have knee pillows. OMG, you said my name right. Sounds like the verb to rebel, not the noun Yeah, I can, because I can read it. It's revel, right? Yeah, like, because the E-L-L-E. You've been sharing a bed since you were 16. Yeah, basically. Like, our relationship wasn't... It was like platonic sleeping together, but yeah, we were sharing a bed for a while. Like I moved out of my dad's house and in with my partner and his mom when I was like 16. 15 or 16, somewhere around there. So, yep, for a while. Whenever I stick one foot out from under the blanket, I call it my air conditioner. I have, like, the fan set up, and I like, stuck out my little leggy. Super Doctor Who Lock, IDK bro, ants never seem to rest. They just stay bumbling about. True. What did you do to your hand? I want to say I sprained it. I don't really know exactly what to say. Like, it's just my tendon in my hand hurts. It's, like, swollen a little bit. I was just lifting dumbbells. I was lifting the same amount of dumbbells that I normally would weigh, except I was doing, like, an exercise. I was doing an exercise that I hadn't done in a couple weeks, but I actually went down on the weight, so I was not expecting it to be an issue. And it wasn't an issue for my muscles, but it was an issue for my hand. So it's like, it's fine. I just wanted to immobilize it so that because when I bend it at a certain angle, it like hurts. It's a little bit sensitive to touch, but it's mostly like, yeah, we were just discussing that I probably have EDS. I just haven't had the testing done required to get a formal diagnosis. And it doesn't really matter. I don't really need like a formal diagnosis of connective tissue disorder, because it's not like there's any health care that I would suddenly get access to. Like, you know, there's not really like treatment for connective tissue disorder. It's basically just like, well, try not to injure yourself. Good luck. Oh, water is so fucking delicious. I have a twin-size bed. I share half of that bed with stuffed animals. I have one stuffed animal that I actually do hang out with sometimes, and he is Stitch. Yeah, time to add Luxander to the list of lefty creators I watch who have a White Forest site that I enjoy. What's up, Naomi Chance? Welcome to the website. Yeah, I just realized that I was doing the shocker. I'm not like paying attention to this finger, so I can't really like feel it. Like it's just totally dead and relaxed. So I was like doing this thinking it was a peace sign, and then nope, it's actually not. Just kidding. I just have crappy knees. Thanks, gardening. Yo, okay, so Junebug, here's my recommendation. If you are not vegan, I recommend. Here's what I actually. You know what? I want to eat some, so I'm gonna go get a bag. Hold on. Ugh. If you got bad knees and you're not a vegan, I recommend getting some Welch's fruit snacks and eating one of these bags like every day or two, because they have gelatin in them. I have noticed that my knees feel way better after having started this practice like a few weeks ago. And yeah, they help the knees. Gelatin goes straight to where it needs to go. You know, a lot of people always say, oh, you shouldn't eat fat. Like, fat's bad for you. Fat's not bad for you. It just happens to have 3 times the amount of calories isn't in it as protein. It's not like you eat fat and it goes to the fat places on your body. You know? You just, like, eat the fat and your body processes it down into its constituent elements. And then, if you have excess energy, your body builds its own fat. Okay? Not so with gelatin. When your knees need gelatin, you can just eat it. And your body sees it and goes, oh, that's gelatin. And it goes and puts it in the place where it needs to be. You don't have to digest it and then build more gelatin in your fucking... So, like, my kneecaps are actually more squishy. Like, it's noticeably, like, squishier. And, like, I can see a visual difference. And then also it feels a lot better when I do my leg workouts. Yummy. My ex swore by collagen supplements to keep his skin smooth and stave off twink debt. Yeah, I could see collagen supplements being really good. I do like the Welch's, just trying to keep the sugar down. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, like once every day or two, or like a couple times a week. It took me a few weeks to start noticing a difference. When are you supposed to need gelatin? I mean, I don't know, like when you start to feel like you're having knee problems. I'm wondering if this is helping with my general connective tissue issues as well. Like if there might be other joints on my body that are better off now. Anyway, by the way, there's like 52 people here. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't hit the like button, please consider hitting the like button really quick. There is like news to talk about. There's like all kinds of news to talk about, and I just couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted to narrow it in on today, which is why I refused to give the stream a specific title. Usually we hang out and just chill for the first hour of my stream. So we got another about like 30 minutes of just like we're chilling and, you know, whatever. And then we'll start getting into news topics in a little bit. But I appreciate you hanging out for sure. I just feel like hot garbage. And so it's kind of hard to narrow down which of the horrendous things happening we should talk about. Like, oh, there's news about Florida again. What even is the EHRC? Something to do with Britain. Oh, it's the Equality Act. Yeah, there's just all kinds of fucked up shit constantly happening, and it's hard to narrow it down. I thought something crazy happened that made you think no. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about everything, and the news, and all of it. Just, everything's bad. The gelatin does break down in the digestive system. Your body then rebuilds the necessary nutrients for your joints. Really? Okay, I don't know where I learned that. I read about it a really long time ago. So I guess that info is not correct. Why do my knees feel so much better? That can't be psychosomatic. Like, there's no way that my knees not clicking is psychosomatic. So it's like, I wonder if there's something in the gelatin that you can't synthesize otherwise. I don't know. I'm the bee's knees. That's fucking true, dude. What's up, Joanna? It is still early in the stream, so you're not really missing much. We're chilling. We're talking about whatever. And, I mean, we're kind of like, we can kind of like peruse topics, I guess, here at the beginning. Or we don't have to do anything serious today at all, because I have plenty of content that I still need to edit for the channel. I still had a couple left from a previous stream, and then we streamed on Tuesday, and there were even more segments that could go on the channel, so I'm gonna be busy for a while. Equality Human Rights Commission, I think. Nice. Just got here, gotta ask about your finger. I have connective tissue problems, and I went to the gym today. It's okay, though. I just wanted it to not continue to get ouchy throughout the day. Like, it just needs to remain still, and then the swelling will go down and it'll be fine. But it is swollen. And I took some ibuprofen, and it'll probably be okay. What will chat argue with Lux about today? Politics, gender, squirrels. Have you ever edited segments on stream? I tried to do that for a patron-only stream a while ago, and it sucks. Like, it's not an enjoyable time. I'm so focused on editing, it's like really hard to split my attention. OMG, gay pumpkin. Yep, it's a gay pumpkin. Pumpkin posse. New gender just dropped. Not gonna lie, I thought the stream title was in reference to some drama that went down a bit ago, because it's very clear that it's not, and I don't want to bring up what it specifically is. Naomi, I want to know what it is. I mean, there's plenty of things that it could be about, which is part of why it's good to have a stream title that's vague like this. Hank Green did a video of him editing once. Yeah. I just don't think it's very entertaining. It's certainly a very intimate activity, but I have carpal tunnel, and using a brace while I'm sleeping basically cured it. Does that help your connective tissue issues too? Oh, I have definitely had times where, like, I'm waking up with my hands kind of numb in the middle of the night, and I have sometimes worn a brace. It comes and goes, right? Like, my need for a brace comes and goes. Sometimes I need a knee brace, and I use a knee brace for a few days or maybe a week or two, and then I don't need it anymore. And then my hand will start to hurt, and I'll wear, like, a wrist. Are you talking about Soul Bunny? I know about this. It's not like that. Listen, it's kind of funny. Like, occasionally, like, people will send me news articles. It's sometimes if I get like a DM from someone, it'll be like they sent me a news article, and I'm like, I am chronically on Twitter. I've already seen this like 2 hours ago when it broke, you know? So if you're talking about Soul Bunny, then yes, I know. And I've been talking about it a little bit on YouTube. Or it's not on YouTube. I've been talking about it a little bit on Twitter. I thought I was gonna burp. No? No? Can we talk about how the squirrels in Rick and Morty's world are planning to take over the world? Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Isn't that a thing in another cartoon I know? Are you talking about... What is his name? Hold on. Hold on. This is in the depths of my mind. What is his name? Foamy? Are you talking about Foamy the squirrel? Oh, I can't see now. You know when you rub your eyes and then you can't fucking see anything? Oh, man. What did Shark do? Shark did not do anything. It was not Shark. It was something about Shark. Now, okay. I haven't watched Soul Bunny's video, to be clear. Also, I have not watched any of the other videos that say things like leftism has a white problem. I haven't watched any of those because I kind of feel like, yeah, I'm aware that there's like a whiteness problem within the leftist community. And like, obviously there is like a lot of unexamined racism that everybody has to fucking work through. And yeah, so like I'm aware, and therefore I have not watched any of these videos, but I have seen some clips from this Soul Bunny video, and I have seen some of the discourse around the Soul Bunny video, and I have also seen Soul Bunny tweeting at Shark about these things, and I'm kind of not impressed by the situation, if I'm being totally honest. Oh my god, I've been teleported backwards a decade and a half. You're welcome. You've also lost the game. You're welcome. Imagine being white. I know, it's cringe. Gelatin is mostly protein, but does also include amino acids, glycine, tryptophan, proline, valine, hydroxyproline, and glutamic acid. Delicious. You make me lose the game on my fucking birthday? I know. I don't deserve to live. Take me out back and put me down. Oh no. My finger feels really weird. It feels like it's out of the socket, but surely I'd be in more pain. As far as I know, I've never popped anything out of the socket, but I don't know. How would I know? Is that what's wrong? One of my toes doesn't bend anymore. Is it actually, did I actually break it, or is it just like out of the socket permanent? I don't know. Is this like a socket problem? I don't think so. I think it's like it feels like the very tip top of my finger, like right there. It's quite sensitive. So I think that's the connective tissue for my pinky finger, you know? Anyway, just get a new YouTuber before the kids come home. The toast thing sounds like a software error. Well, I bashed it into something once upon a time. You know I have dislocated fingers. That shit fucking hurts. Okay, good to know. Is your knuckle the top or bottom of your finger? Your knuckle is the bone. Like, and people generally... I guess it's like the hinge mechanism is on this side, so... And like then there's like a little bit of muscle right here, so people generally call this part of your hand the knuckles. I can't see race if you have piercings and tats. You just immediately become a degenerate. Lose all racial status. Sometimes I feel like my shoulder is feeling really low in the socket and just not quite in the socket all the way. Unfortunate. Okay, yeah, I don't think I get dislocations, but I also experience pain weird, so goth becomes its own race. Absolutely. I'm really not even trying to maintain viewership today, if I'm being honest. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, this stream needs to be entertaining, and today it's like, you know what, if I make some money today, that'll be great. I'm gonna have to dive in harder on the channel, like, next week or something, but I'm fucking tired right now, so... Visigoth, Ostrogoth, Hot Topic Goth. True. Okay, everybody thinks that I would know if I had a dislocation. But I broke my toe and didn't know it until it didn't heal correctly. You know? Mall goths are oppressed. Save the mall goths. No, because we would have to save the malls in order to save the mall goths. And malls are bad. Was that the plot of a House MD episode? I did never watch House MD. I watched like a little bit of it at my friend's house because he was into it, but I was never a fan. I used just like a popsicle stick that I had around. So it's like kind of bending my finger back slightly. Not optimal, but... Sorry if this is a dumb question, but why are malls bad? 'Cause it's a big, like, capitalism area. And, like, I mean, like, I guess it's better in some ways than the other sorts of distributions of shops around towns. But, you know, like, they take up a lot of space, and the giant fucking parking lots are not good, and it's like you know, you kind of have to walk around the whole place in order to access stuff, and, like, I don't know. I don't have, like, a lot of specific reasons that malls are bad, except for the broad, like, capitalism bad. Although, speaking of malls, I've been thinking about Dawn of the Dead a lot lately. Is that the name of that movie? The one in a mall? White people, true. There was a woman at the Antarctic Research Station who broke her toe and didn't know because she was numb from cold, and then it was like seeping something into her bloodstream. Yay! Oh, that's horrible. I hate that. The good one and the Jesus one. Or is there a Jesus one? Wait, what? Malls are your internet browser with physical danger and lots of turds and only one good pretzel place. And they're also like, you know, dying. You know, people don't want to go hang out at a mall. It's like a way of turning our social interactions into like a shopping interaction, you know? Like if you have places where you can hang out in a mall, the purpose is like you want people to come hang out there, and then like, well, they're there, so then they're gonna see all these storefronts with their advertisements and like then spend a bunch of money. And so it's like the commodification of your time. You know what I mean? Like that like the places that we have that are public places that you can just sort of exist are increasingly places where like, you know, either you have to pay to be there nowadays, but like, or you have to like basically be proximate to a bunch of people who want your money. Of course it was Zack Snyder. Oh yeah. Oh, the Dawn of the Dead from Zack Snyder. That is the one that I'm thinking about, where like the lady gets bit and then she gives birth to a zombie baby. A lot of stores near me went out of business because of online shopping. Rip Staples, but I guess nobody buys pencils in person. I was watching a video from John Oliver's channel about Amazon recently. And I mean, it's not that online shopping kills physical businesses, but more so that like the fact that they can't compete with Amazon's online shopping. You know, like Walmart provides its own online shopping now. Target has online shopping. So if a store doesn't have the ability to adapt to, you know, instead of being primarily a retail model to being, you know, to like having at least a decent portion of the business be a shipping and distribution model, then those businesses are going to have a harder time, you know? Oh my God, excuse me. And then like, but Staples can't compete with the prices. And then Amazon Basics will sell a shittier pencil anyway for cheaper and have it to your house that same day on Prime shipping. So it's kind of tough. Also, partially because if you do a Google search for anything, Amazon and Walmart are the first things to show up, even before other big businesses. Yeah. I don't, if it wasn't for the fact that Amazon is such a horrendous corporation, I do think it is a really good service to have, like, on the earth. Hey, if you're just coming in, or if you just haven't done it yet, hit the like button. I would really love it if we could get like 100 people in this stream on the regular basis, and that is accomplished by getting likes during the stream, because that tells people to show the stuff. Oh, is the bot suddenly not working? Ooh. Cobot just randomly decided to stop working. Oh well. Anyone know what happened to Music Zone? I don't. Was it a shop? Was it a store? That's weird. Commodifying the human spirit. It listened to your AI convo from yesterday. You caught me. Still can't buy a demon core off of Amazon. Rip. That's super sad. It might be a setting not letting regular users use like commands. Decoy Duck does it all the time, though. So that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of bugged out for a minute. Cobot was just sleepy for a second. Yeah. So I haven't watched the Soul Bunny video. Mostly the kind of thoughts that I've been having about it are that, like, it seems as though there was just an unnecessary amount of going after Shark. Like, Shark tends to have opinions, I guess, that a lot of other black people don't like, a lot of, like, other black leftists within the space. And it kind of seems like there's been a lot of very shitty harassment toward him. Like, the Twitter experience for Shark does not seem like it's been good for the last couple days. Yeah, I was on a stream with Shark once. I don't really remember it super well, but he's super chill. I've watched some of his videos. He's nice. And I guess because he has a tendency to agree with other white streamers, like white creators about things, like, people don't like that. So in a video about white leftism, like about the problem of whiteness within leftism, which I generally assume is people are referring to, like, the fact that there aren't many black creators who get very big within the space, and that there is generally, like, some racial insensitivity amongst white leftists, which I could see that being the case. Within a video about that, Soul Bunny, like, swings at Shark, I guess, for being, like, a black guy who agrees with white people, is basically the fundamental criticism. And, honestly, I don't know any of the context behind the slur that she uses. Like, I haven't researched it. I just know that it is a racial slur. And so it's like, okay, like, I feel like there are ways that black people can use anti-black slurs in a way that's cool. But also, I think that they can weaponize slurs in a straight-up anti-black way. Why would you attack another black creator in a video criticizing white leftists? Well, it's not a video criticizing white leftists. It's a video criticizing the whiteness problem in leftism. So I think the criticisms about Shark are to do with him being, like, an apologist for racist white people. So if you're trying to say there's a racism problem, then, like, then a black person who tries to make themselves adjacent to white folks is, like, trying to serve whiteness for the benefit of being a pick-me. Like, I think that that's what people say about Shark, that he's a pick-me, and I just don't agree. I have no idea what slur. It's short for raccoon. I don't know any of the fucking history behind it. The only time I even remember the term being used in the history of me having a brain Thea Jane with the $100 dono. Holy shit, thank you so much. I really seriously appreciate that. Wow, just blew the goal completely out of the water. Right there. Look, I don't even have to do anything. I'll just go home. All right, I'm done today. No, that's awesome. Thank you. The only time I've ever heard the slur that we're talking about was in the Wild Wild West. Do y'all remember that? When fucking Gilderoy Lockhart is the bad guy in that Will Smith movie, you know? You're like, wiki wiki Wild Wild West. And he says something about like, oh, I haven't seen you in a coon's age. And it's like, he emphasizes the word in a way. Like the phrase a coon's age is just a phrase, but he emphasizes the word in a way that makes it like he's clearly like calling him that. So that's the only time I've ever heard the term used in like a serious context, I guess. Like, it wasn't one that I didn't grow up in the South. I didn't ever hear it growing up like that. I guess I should say that was the first time I've heard it, not the only time I've ever heard it. But I was able to detect that it was some kind of slur. It is super old-timey racist. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of pick-me's, did you see that clip of Kelly Cadigan, the days of being a conservative trans woman defending slavery in a debate with nominal Naomi? No, I think I finally muted her or maybe blocked her because there were a few days in a row, like 3 days in a row, that someone fucking retweeted her into my timeline. And I was like, who keeps retweeting this dumb bitch into my timeline? Like, I don't want to see her dumb fucking face. Like, it's so cringe. I know. I replied to her a few times, and then I was like, why is this bitch still showing up in my, like, why are people retweeting her into, like, I just want to forget that she exists. So I did forget that she existed until just now. The Soul Bunny video says it's about the white leftist industrial complex, but it's really about two dramas, Vosh/Cat Black and the Keffels Noodles Are Tasty tweet about a white woman who wrote a book about dumplings and noodles. Shark defended Vosh in the drama, and Soul Bunny got offended by that. Okay. That makes sense. I did, one of the clips that I saw, she does say the white leftist industrial complex. And she starts, that's like toward the beginning of the video, I think, because I started to watch the whole thing, and then I had to pause it for some reason, and when I came back to my desk, I was like, I don't want to do this. She starts off, it's toward the beginning of her video that she says something, or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, whatever clip I saw, she says something about the white leftist industrial complex. And I was like, do words mean anything? Like, the industrial, like the military industrial complex. Yeah, literally, like manufacturing white leftists since 1984. Like, misogynoir is a real thing, but boy howdy does it feel weaponized here. Yeah, and like when I'm talking about this, I'm trying not to go hard, you know, because I think that there is, even if us creators don't tell you to go comment on their stuff or whatever, I think that if we approach it with a certain level of like shittiness and rudeness and dismissal, then that kind of unfortunately has the side effect of influencing other people to be shitty toward her in the comments and stuff. And I just want to be able to talk about these issues without being worried about being accused of being racist. Like, I try to be as just like chill about it as possible is my main thing. Like, I know, like, I want to be able to sometimes disagree with black folks and disagree with the way that they do things, but not like come down hard on them. And yeah, like I think, you know, Vosh calling Professor Flowers a black supremacist, like, I don't know if I agree with that still. I mean, she certainly had some weird, she was very careful not to reveal her power level, basically, Professor Flowers. She was very clearly like, I have some strong opinions, but I'm gonna dodge the question a lot. That was kind of my takeaway from listening to their debate together. I know I'm racist. Well, here's the thing. I have accepted for years, because like I just was listening to black people, all white people are racist. And by that, it means like, it doesn't mean that you actively hate black people. It means that all white people grew up like with some level of privilege in relation to black people, and therefore we have thoughts and beliefs that we're not even aware are racist. And that in order to combat those things, you have to think of yourself as being anti-racist and not simply, you can't just say, I'm not racist, because then if you view all your actions through that lens, you are unable to see the ways in which your actions are racist. So I accept, yeah, I'm white, therefore I'm probably racist to some extent. My goal is to know about the racism and then correct it. And that's what being anti-racist means to me. It's not to say that, like, I am perfect and I will never do something racist. Like, the likelihood is that I do perpetuate racism in plenty of ways. I want to know and learn. And then that's the difficult thing that we run into in these conversations is that allegedly the racial C word that we're talking about, the word that's short for raccoon, people are saying that this word is a slur when white people use it, but when black people use it, it means something very specific. And therefore, and like in that context, it's not just a black person using a slur against a black person, like it means something different. It does have a specific meaning, but it is still a slur. Yeah, it's like, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it evolved. And I was talking to someone who was, being responded to by someone. Like, I replied to a Neil from Leftist Cooks tweet and was like, I am going to use my brain and not just like listen to the nearest, loudest black person on a given thing. Like, being an ally in the fight against racism means that you need to like understand the racism in order to be able to address it. And I just kind of am getting this messaging that is sort of the opposite to everything that I feel like I've been learning about being an ally to black people for like fucking years. Like, I'm supposed to be able to recognize anti-blackness. Like, I am supposed to shut up and listen and learn and then therefore learn and understand and then stop my racist behavior or be able to call out other people's racist behavior, okay? But that requires me to understand why. Otherwise, like, I can't be convinced and I can't convince other people. So I've put in the work to understand, and I ask questions and I say, are there any resources about this? And increasingly, after years of people being like, you need to listen to black people, and me being like, yeah, I am doing that. I'm doing my best to do that. Now, for the past couple of years, like, my anti-racism journey has been ongoing for as long as I've been aware, like since, I don't know, like 15 years ago, probably. And the past 2 or 3 years, it's much more of like a, no, I'm not going to help you understand that. And I find that really frustrating. And I also don't get it. Like, do you want white allies or not? It kind of feels increasingly like, almost like black people are, you know, leaning toward just being separatist from white folks. And like, I get it. You know, you're constantly dealing with racism. Like, I don't love hanging around cis people all the time. You know, that is the majority of people. So it's kind of fucking hard not to. But I just find it really, I don't like the back and forth. I don't like what feels like inconsistency. I've heard people compare it to how gusano is used in Latin communities. See, I don't know that one. I don't know that word. I am a white and I'm here to save the day. Listening to Candace Owens versus listening to Cat Black is very different. I even brought that up. I brought up Candace Owens, and it's like, okay, Candace Owens, like, are white leftists supposed to just not acknowledge what she says? And this black woman that I was talking to was like, you know, white people need to focus on the anti-black racism being maintained and uplifted by non-black folks. You should not be calling out black folks. Everything Candace says, another white person is also saying. There's no reason to go on endlessly about her. It's like, can we just talk about more than one thing at once? And like, yeah, talking about how Candace Owens is a useful idiot for racist, like, policies is worth talking about, specifically because she is being granted more legitimacy on these issues, like, because she's black. She's the black person that right-wingers can point to and say, oh, well, even she says that blacks are disproportionately responsible for crime or some bullshit like that, you know, like, and that is harmful in a unique way. So it's just, I don't know what to say when people are like, you're not allowed to criticize. Like, it's like, should I tell Vosh that he's not allowed to criticize Blair White? Because that's the functional equivalent, is me saying, like, you need to stop talking about Blair White, okay? We will handle it. You know, it's fucking just stupid. It's stupid. I wouldn't call Candace Owens a useful idiot. I feel like she's an active, knowing participant. I mean, I guess, yeah, like, she's a grifter, I guess, is probably an easier way to say. Yeah, exactly. Imagine people saying, don't mention Blair White or Caitlyn Jenner. Like, you're not allowed to criticize Caitlyn Jenner unless you're trans. Like, it's fucking stupid. Oh, okay. That makes sense, Rotsoy. Thank you for telling me that. The word that we were talking about does not actually come from raccoon. That's the problem. It's a slur from the 1830s from the word baracun, literally barracks in Spanish, refers to the type of enclosure black slaves were kept in during transit from West Africa, Brazil, and Cuba. Okay, that makes sense. So baracun, it's kind of like naming one of your characters Kingsley Shacklebolt, right? Like, your name, it's like, you know, it's a slur, and like, it's you're naming black people after one of the objects of their enslavement, right? Yeah, it all comes back to JKR, y'all. It all comes back. Oh. I'm feeling a little bit better than I was when we started stream, so cheers to that. Leftist stop infighting, challenge impossible. Yeah, that explains its use a little bit more. Yeah, like, I mean, it being old, and it's like, what did raccoons have anything to do with it? The damage she's done is so infuriating to think about it. Yeah, I know. I'm good, Prosy Rosie. I just, you know, like, I had like a great weekend, and then I had a Monday that just went really shit, and things have not improved since then. So I'm just trying to catch up on my work this week and be upset and deal with my feelings. I talked to my therapist about it yesterday. That was cool. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you see your therapist and you just feel like you were just frustrated the whole time, and you afterwards you're like, why am I going to therapy still? I just am upset all day now. And other times you go to therapy and you're like, oh man, I feel like I know what happened. Like, I'm understanding the situation that I was upset about better, and I also feel like I can do something about it. So that's what happened this week, and I still am upset about the thing, and because I haven't yet actually solved the problem, but I do know how to solve the problem, at least in part. So that's cool. I remember feeling that after the therapy I had when I was like 13. Assigned Garfield at birth. Yeah, it is always the Mondays, truthfully. Yeah. It sucked. I had like a great weekend, and then I just fucking, like, Monday morning, it all went downhill. So I have like a lot of anxiety, and I'm like sad and stuff, so. As a Hispanic American, you get a Hispanic pass. Criticize us all you want. I have almost nothing to say about Hispanic people in America. Like, I really, like, I don't think I've ever had any. I mean, I guess because the discourse is not as centralized in the leftist spaces, there's a lot of conversation about black people and racism online. And like, we'll have these brief moments where we'll have like, okay, now we're briefly talking about anti-Asian racism because of COVID or something, you know? But like, yeah, I guess we don't really talk about anti-Asian racism or anti-Hispanic racism that much. I also happen to follow a lot of Native Americans on my Twitter, But I don't know how common those conversations are within the broader leftist spaces. Like, I just don't know. Anti-Monday action. AMA. Leftists stop infighting, challenge impossible. It's like, I don't understand the motivations, I guess. Folks were saying that Soul Bunny's video did not sound like it was meant for a non-Black audience. So it could just be that this video that we are all trying to have a conversation about is actually something that was intended as more of an event for people of color exclusively. Because when I see a video, I would say, if you see a video that's titled like the whiteness problem in the leftist community, like leftism has a whiteness problem, the kinds of people that you're going to get in on that are like, Black folks who agree with you, or people of color who agree with you, white people who are mad about your title and want to come in and disagree with you, and white people who see the video and go, I agree, there's a problem in the leftist community with racism and whiteness and this shit. So I'm going to watch this video and see what this person has to say and how, and like if they have any solutions to propose or whatever. Like, so, like, there is some understanding that white people are going to get involved in the conversation. And it's just weird when there's later like an insistence that white people are not wanted in the conversation. And it's like, okay, I get that there are some areas where you don't want white people in the conversation, but like if you're talking about a problem with whiteness in the left community, do you not need white people to agree with you in order to help solve the problem? Like, I don't know how else that's going to be accomplished. Soul Bunny's video honestly wouldn't have any conversation surrounding it if people didn't see Jessie Gender praising it. Yeah, she got shouted out by Jessie Gender. I guess that's fair that, I mean, I can see that Jessie was trying to do something good in that sense of like, yeah, maybe this video would have languished in complete obscurity if not for the fact that Jessie Gender shouted it out. It's like, did she watch the whole thing? I guess Jessie Gender doesn't really disagree with the premise of calling Shark a white obsessed Black person, basically. Like the house N-word or the C-word. Yeah, it's similar to the trans people who will be like, fuck cis people and never want to talk to them, which, trust me, I get it, Lamau. We do need to sometimes explain things to them. Yes, they're not all bad. Trauma can give you a warped view. Right. And so it's like, yeah, as someone who tries to be anti-racist, like, I just don't even really try to be friends with Black people, not because there's anything that I have a problem with that, but more like because there's so much, like, I don't want to be around white people. And I'm like, I get it. And I don't want to press that at all. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you guys are going to just kind of like do your thing and I'm going to respect that. And I'm going to try to learn from a distance and not get involved. Like, that seems like the easiest way to deal with it. But that's also like, I don't really try to get heavily involved with anyone. So it's not like people of color are special in that way for me, you know, and like, I don't really talk to very many people. Bro, it is so warm in here. Everyone going stay in your lane about this shit. How come none of them are telling Jessie to do that? Because Jessie agreed with them, you know? Like, Jessie gets a pass because she's the one supporting what these folks are saying. You can still have Black friends, though. I have cis friends. I mean, yeah, I know, yes. I'm just saying I don't really try. Like, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, you know? I'm cool with people, but I'm not, like, trying to be friends with them. Gotta approach it like one approaches non-monogamy. Not every leftist, like not every partner, has to be everything to you and connect with you completely. If Soul Bunny had stayed in her lane, Soul Bunny wouldn't be getting this, quote, harassment. I mean, yeah. There is that question as well of like, how responsible are you for the harassment someone gets if you're just retweeting them? Like, why is it that Vosh is being held accountable for harassment against Soul Bunny, but Jessie Gender is not? Because nobody would be talking about this I said Soul Bunny. Oops, my bad. When I meant Jesse, my bad. That happens sometimes. So why is it that when people are like, oh, Vosh is directing all this harassment toward Soul Bunny? Well, Vosh wouldn't have even heard about it if it wasn't for Jesse, and a lot of people hate Vosh. I mean, that's true. Everybody kind of wants to come up with more things to be upset with him about. I gotta take this fucking jacket off, dude. It's too warm in here. I don't think I can reasonably turn the air conditioner on any higher. I guess now is the time of year that I can dress like a slut in my apartment because I don't have to worry about being too cold like I am usually all fucking winter. Yes. That's the testosterone sweats. I mean, it's also like 77 degrees in here, so it's just fucking, it's warm. President Sunday honestly had the best takes on the Soul Bunny vid. He brought Demon Mama onto stream to clarify a clip of her that Soul Bunny used to criticize Voosh. Yeah, I did scroll through the video and see that there was a clip of Demon Mama in there. Yeah. This is, like, I feel like my progress has sort of stalled on my arms. We've reached $100 in the stream today, so we're doing a little bit of guns. I feel like my progress has stalled out a little bit because I'm not eating as much as I want to be eating right now. So my arms are just not, they're not really getting much bigger. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ooh. I always dress like a slut in my apartment, aka naked is comfy. When you're naked, you're not really dressing, are you? Is nudity a form of clothing? I don't know. Is atheism a form of religion? Is baldness a haircut? I don't know. I'm kind of glad I disconnected. I'm disconnected enough that when these sort of situations come up, I just have no clue of the context and I can't make heads or tails of it. Right. I hear there's early gains and then it slows down. Yeah, I mean, I've been stuck at the same weights for a few weeks. Like, honestly, after I had my IUD taken out, I think that my hormones are kind of like fucking weird right now. So, and I'm on like such a low dose of testosterone that I don't think it's helping. So I need to have it increased. Every video game I've ever played has offered bald as a haircut. That's not a criticism of your point. I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, it's just, I was just like, does it count? I don't know. These are the philosophical questions. These are the important philosophical questions. But what did President Sunday say about Soul Bunny? I like him, but I don't really watch his content very much. I just mostly like him on Twitter. I appreciate him on Twitter. He's too dry. I love living alone so much. I like it a lot more than I was anticipating. And it's unfortunate that I only get 1 year of it, you know? Like, even if I don't move back in with my partner, I'm gonna be having my teenage siblings move in with me. So I only get the 1 year. Unfortunate. You might need to go heavier, TBH. Yeah, Prosy Rosie, I can't push it on the weights because my connective tissue will, like, part of the reason why I hurt myself today is because I had done a lift that I hadn't done in a few weeks. And I went back up to almost the same weight that I was on, and it hurt the connective tissue in my hand. Like, unfortunately, when I'm working out, like, I am limited by other things besides my muscles. Yeah, I'm good, Dark Canuck. Yeah, I just like strained some of my hand a little bit. Not a big deal. Ah, all the muscle peeps know. I feel like baldness could be a haircut if you're getting your hair cut to be bald. Yeah. I think it's more like baldness implies like you have no hair and not that you have shaved, because shaving your hair, then you have a buzz cut. That's not the same as being bald. We're thinking like alopecia, you know what I mean? For real, bro, when people talk about doing it until failure, I really just can't do that without messing myself up. Sometimes when I'm doing curls, like when I get back down to the bottom of my curl, my elbow like pops. It's great. I consider someone who shaves their head smooth to be bald. Fair enough. You might be able to pull it off. I did shave my hair entirely off one time. It was a long time ago. The urge to shave my head every degree it goes up. Right. I was saying a couple weeks ago that I had been thinking about starting to grow out maybe one of my sides. And then I remembered that that's the kind of wishful thinking you can only do during the winter. And like the moment that it started to get a little bit warm again, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I don't have hair. I know we kind of switched topics, but I'm not going to lie. As a POC, I feel weird about this whole discourse. I watched Soul Bunny's video and could relate and understand a lot about what she said. Yeah, you're cool, Disco Imp. Like, I haven't watched the whole video. I can't say that I'm denouncing the whole thing. I'm just saying, like, the way that she spoke about a couple things in there was not ideal, in my opinion. And, like, the way that she's behaved on Twitter afterwards has definitely not been appropriate, in my opinion. But also, sometimes I have that experience where I initially see a video and I'm like, I don't know that I really disagree with anything in here. And then as I think about it later, or I rewatch the video, or I see some other discussion, maybe there's another perspective that occurs to me and I go like, okay, well, maybe I don't really agree with that the same. So like, I also don't think that your first pass interpretation on something has to be your last interpretation. Maybe if I watched the whole thing, I would agree with her on some things. And maybe I would still think maybe that it's bad that she called shark the word that she did. Whatever happened to your rainbow earplugs, people wouldn't stop complimenting me on them. I like compliments, but I don't like compliments about the same thing all the time. And also, it was like really, I could tell that it was performative, you know, because I used to work retail and I would wear like the rainbow plugs and folks would like, oh my God, I love your rainbow plugs. And I'm like, okay, straighty, like you're trying to like demonstrate your allyship or whatever. Please shut the fuck up. I really hate it when people comment on the things that I'm wearing like that. You know, if I get like one or two compliments about something, I'll be like, sweet. But I've switched earrings because I'm like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I stopped wearing my dinosaur hat. I gave my dinosaur hat to my brother because I was like, I am so tired of getting compliments on this thing every fucking time I leave the house with it. Which I guess makes me kind of a curmudgeon of sorts, but I really, really, really didn't like it. Picking on Shark is low. He's pretty benign and such a nice person. Yeah, he seems really chill, and that's part of why it's kind of easy to watch him. From now on, chat will only insult you. Yeah, exactly. Only insult. Me, watching Breaking Bad the first time. Haha, goofy dad from Malcolm in the Middle making meth. Lol. The second time, this man is abusive the entire time. Wow. I get freaked out when I start getting attention in public places, so compliments make me freak out. I don't want to speak to anybody at Target. I don't want to talk to you at Target. Like, I don't want to end up in a conversation. And so it's, yeah, even if it's just passing, I'm like, thank you. Yeah, like, cool. Stop talking to me. I'm busy. Especially now that it's Pandemi Lovato. I love your rainbow cup. Gonna make you give away the mug. How much money would you give me for it? Certified pre-owned. I'm too beautiful, so I have to tone it down, Lux. It's not that I'm beautiful that I need to tone down. In fact, I'm trying to make myself more attractive. But it's the, you know, if I was being when my muscles get big, like if I go out and someone's like, oh my God, your muscles are so big, I'm gonna be like, yeah, babe, thanks. That's totally different. Or when someone's like, I love your hair. I saw a queer person in public recently and they had pink hair And I was gonna say, oh my God, I love your hair. And I decided not to. But then they said, oh my God, I love your hair. And I was like, oh my God, I love your hair. And it was wonderful. I have a praise kink, so it takes being really weird about compliments for me to get bothered. Sorry, I'm enabling the complimenters. I like small talk and compliment culture. Also, any other trans femmes notice you only see this after transition? I mean, that's fair. It's not like, yeah, again, like, compliments from friends or people I know, I'm like, yeah, sweet, cool. It's kind of hard to tell whether a compliment is a flirt, so that's another thing that's kind of hard to navigate sometimes. But yeah, it's mostly like, I don't want strangers to talk to me about what I'm wearing, for the most part. Oh my God, my hair is falling out. I gotta stop pulling my hair out. I can't stop though. I feel the exact same way with compliments, swear to God. Or backhanded. I am immune to backhanded compliments. I am too retarded. I am completely immune to backhanded compliments. There was this cute, visibly queer mask person at the DMV line with purple and blue short hair. Yeah, honestly, there are a lot more queer people in my area than I think there are, I think. So I don't know. I really don't want to get involved with my local queer scene, but I also think that it might just be a necessary thing to do so that, like, when my brother comes to live with me, maybe we could have, you know, some community to have access to and like resources, and, you know, it's good to have that. But I don't know. I also really don't plan to build any kind of queer network. I guess I'm kind of waiting to do that until I live in Seattle. I don't know. If you think there are more queers than you think there are, don't you already know? I guess I'm saying I've been recently proven wrong about the number of queers in my area. It's fair. OMG, you're coming to Seattle when? I don't know, man. It's gonna be like a year or two, probably. I'm not sure. It's gonna be a minute, but it's like, broadly, my general plan for getting to somewhere safer is to go up there. And I've kind of always felt like I want to leave Kansas, so it's weird, actually, that I stopped feeling that way fairly recently. Like, now that I have to leave my state for my safety, like, I'm about to lose the right to use the bathroom, potentially, and who knows what's gonna happen with trans healthcare and, like, trying to pass a national abortion ban and stuff, like, do you have a P.O. box? I do have a P.O. box, yeah. Are you on the Discord, Rotsoy, or are you on Twitter? DM me, and I will DM you the P.O. box. It's not public, because I don't want anyone to send me, you know, dead mouse bones or something. But if you send me a DM on Discord, I will send you the P.O. box address. What's up, Mersh? Hello. Ooh, haven't been in uniform for a year. Very nice. Shining shoes, polishing brass, and putting pins on right now. Ooh, I love that there is, that there's, like, such a ritualistic process to getting your shit ready. What if those dead mouse bones gave you the superpowers, though? See, it's against the rules to give me superpowers. That's the thing. Is, I'm chaotic good, and if you give me superpowers, like, I will misuse them. I say misuse. It would be for the greater good. But I would still fuck shit up. Hello, Zed. Someone asked for my P.O. box, and I said, yes, I will give you I said I would give it to them if they PM'd me, but it's not public because I don't want someone to send me dead rats. You might also have a cat in your audience who really wants to send you a gift. I mean, that's true. I had an ex who would dry out dead mice and birds and make jewelry from the bones. I mean, that's fucking really cool, actually. I wanted, like, a robin skull, but you're not allowed to have robin skulls. Because they're, like, protected birds. It's like a federal crime to have bird bones. Unless you're Native American. It's super weird. What about live rats? I mean, good luck. I don't check my P.O. box very often. What about a bird brain? True. Goodness gracious. Well, there's 74 people in here. Why don't you hit like on the stream if you haven't already? We appreciate that. I'm trying to get the... Here's my goal for this summer. I want this stream to get to a point where we just kind of have like 100 viewers on the reg. You know, right now we usually have like 50 viewers, 50, 60, 70. I want to try to pump those numbers up. And that one way that you can contribute that's easy and it's quick is hitting the like button. And if you want, you can also join us on the website, chat. This is luxander.net/live. I'm like Vosh and Demon Mama and Keffels and Conyer. I have my own website. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. Any bird that's protected under the Migratory Bird Act. Which I think means that you... Are you allowed to own crow parts? No, I don't think... No. It's only like game birds. It's like pheasants, you know? If this chat doesn't look like Hassan's during a debate, then we have failed as a chat. Chat be zooming. There are already times when I can't see all of your comments. Like, I have to pick and choose. Or, like, I'll read something, and then I read something else, and I end up not responding to the first thing. Considering my family is sadly looking to move to Kansas City, Kansas, I guess that's good. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, Kansas is not terrible. I guess it depends on where in KCK you move to. Like, you know, Wyandotte has some pretty rough areas, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Where I live, you can confirm documented the bones are found not poached, you can keep them. Oh, so if you stumble on, like, broken shell pieces in the forest and you take a picture of the fact that you found them out in the forest, or like if your cat kills a bird and leaves the dead bird in your yard, like if you take a picture of it, then you're allowed to keep them. Yeah, it doesn't work that way in the US of A. Oh, Anansi, what's up? Missouri is screwed, yeah. Well, Kansas City, Missouri, close to Lenexa. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I kind of grew up in that area, so yeah, it's not terrible. It's actually like upper middle class near Lenexa there. So, yeah, but with Missouri being, talking about Missouri, there is an initiative of some kind in Kansas City, Missouri, where they're trying to make that city like a place where they're going to deprioritize prosecuting gender-affirming whatever, blah, blah, blah. Although I think the law did pass, which is going to make it so that gender-affirming care is not accessible to youths. But my brother, who is a 16-year-old who lives in Missouri, is already on hormones, so he can't be taken off. You found a lot of corvid bones. Oh, you find a lot of corvid bones in this area if you know where to look. It's pretty sick. Nice. I don't think you're allowed to keep those, though. Well, it's, you know, Kansas City, Missouri is basically... It's like kind of they are breaking the rules. Like they can't make it illegal for gender affirming care. Or sorry, they can't make it legal to do gender affirming care within the city of Kansas City if Missouri state law says that it's illegal. But they can just choose not to prosecute, essentially. You know? I think a similar thing happened in Lawrence where like it's still like weed is still illegal here in Kansas. But like in Lawrence... they just don't really prosecute for it. Or they lowered the fine down to like $1 or something like that. So a municipality can, in some cases, like just choose not to prosecute and, you know, make it functionally not a crime. It's kind of like decriminalizing something, except it's not actually been decriminalized. They're just not enforcing it. So it's a similar thing in Kansas City as they did in Lawrence, I think. Tossing out the deacons as a reference for research. I guess, yeah, does Supernatural... I feel like I saw a meme about that at some point. Like, yeah, Supernatural is... I know that in Heroes they mentioned Lawrence once. Like, there's a speedy girl, she runs real fast, and they found her in a cornfield, which is more or less what it's like in Kansas in general. I don't know, like, there's... like, any city that you have in Kansas, whether it's Topeka or Lawrence or Wichita, it's like a normal town, and then you go fucking 5 minutes outside the city limits and it's just corn, you know? That's what it's like to live here. I want to make friends with the local vultures. Did you know that vultures' poop is antiseptic? That's sort of also the state of federal enforcement of weed possession. The district attorneys all just have issued memoranda saying they won't prosecute such crimes, so it's just based on the whims of the prosecutors. Yeah. So, you know, you have in California where they were increasingly legalizing dispensaries, and then they were still raiding, like there were still federal DEA agents who would come in and crack down on dispensaries in I think early days Colorado and early days California. And of course it's usually people of color, like just because the state has said that it's okay doesn't mean it's not still illegal federally, and they'll just ignore the white people breaking the law and they'll crack down on the black people doing it. Most people aren't going to be moving because of weed. If my city just, quote, deprioritized prosecuting my existence, I'm not going to stake my life on the strength of that declaration. No, I don't disagree with you, Mama. Not at all. I was just saying, like, you know, if someone in the YouTube chat, if their parents were determined to move to Kansas City, like if it was Kansas City, Missouri, you know, at least it would be relatively not as bad. And I mean, yeah, Kansas City, Kansas, you know, I would have said, yeah, come move here, like come move to KCK, but it's, I don't know. We have the veto-proof supermajority, so if they wanted to, they could do the same stuff that they're doing in Florida, like make it illegal, or sorry, like take away Medicaid's ability to cover gender-affirming care, or they've taken away bathroom access here. So like, if you're trans and you want to live in Kansas, or if you do live in Kansas, you know, the ACLU is likely going to block it, but they did still attempt to pass a law. They have successfully passed a law overriding Governor Kelly's veto that is going to make it to where you are legally required. I don't know exactly how they're going to enforce it or what the crime actually is, because they wrote a shitty law that doesn't actually have any provisions, but functionally, there is some amount of scrutiny that's going to start happening in the bathrooms starting July 1st, unless this gets challenged, which of course it will. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like it's not like helping. It's not like reassuring to me. We're so close to 100 likes, yo. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. I'm fortunate to have extended family in Michigan. My mom's still prepared for the fact that I may have to radically change my plans and leave everyone. Yeah, I hope that you do have a safe place to be, for sure. Seattle decriminalized psychedelics. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember reading about that a while ago. What's up, Thea Jane? Thank you again for your dono earlier. Yeah, how has that played out? Like, what, like, I guess, like, where, I guess, you know, normally you get psychedelics like mushrooms from people who just grow them, right? Like you can buy mycelia and just grow different kinds of mushrooms. But are there like stores now in the same way that there are weed stores? I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a while, actually. Where are you at, Anansi? Working on making the crows here. Oh, you live in Idaho? The governor here is talking about denying trans care to those on Medicaid. No reason to do so, mind you. Yeah, I mean, this is happening in a couple of places. Like, Florida did this already. A couple other places have tried. I don't know if they fully succeeded. But just saying, we have decided that there isn't enough evidence to suggest that gender-affirming care even is health care. Therefore, Medicaid can't cover it. Or maybe they're like, well, some people morally don't agree with this, so our tax dollars shouldn't be going toward it, which is the same kind of logic that they use about abortion. Yeah, in Idaho. Mm-hmm. I love it when my European friends and one partner in Asia ask me for squirrel pics. It feels like the ultimate flex to just have them in my yard and they don't. I hate squirrels, but I do like that I live where there are fireflies. Oh my god, 99 likes. I love having, oh my god, it's almost firefly season. I have like a barbecue camping trip that I'm supposed to go to next month, and I really am excited, if for no other reason than I think there's going to be fireflies. I know, not the squirrel discourse. I'll just say I don't like them. I don't think that I got canceled that time. I think I just triggered someone's thanatophobia. Fireflies are near extinct here. Oh my god, that sucks. I love them so much. I hope it's not getting too warm for them. Yeah, Lux hates squirrels. They fuck up your plants. For no reason. OMG, I want legal mushrooms. I grow them in my closet. I mean, I guess a closet is where you would do it, right? No fireflies in... What? There's no fireflies in Washington? No, why? I garden. I fucking hate thank you, Shade. I fucking hate squirrels. Like, if you have a garden, squirrels are terrible. Literally never seen one IRL. Oh, so you're like from there. Okay. I'll take my like back now. You don't need to like squirrels to flex on them, to flex them on Euro trash folk and hot dudes who flex tropical bugs on you. What? Okay, hold on. Where are fireflies? Give me a fucking map, dude. I clicked something that had a map. Okay, here's this. Okay. This is when peak lightning bug season, and this is where places where lightning bugs. So there's like a skinny area in California where they are, weird. And then a little area down here in like Arizona, New Mexico. Wait, no. Yeah, this one is New Mexico. This one's Arizona. And then like mostly in the eastern United States. Wow, that's one of the most depressing things that I have ever had to think about. Like, I told you guys a while ago that one of the depressing things about moving away from here is that, like, I had started to fantasize about the idea of owning a house. Like, my partner and I were trying to... I tried to go to school to be an electrician so that my partner and I would both have trade jobs and so we could own a house. And so I had been starting to imagine owning a house here and about, like, planting native grasses. And I realized not too long ago that... you know, if I ever buy a house, it's going to be in a place where those grasses aren't native. And that was some heartbreaking shit to me. And I am now really upset to learn that I'm going to be moving to a place where there aren't fireflies. Like, that's so sad. I used to like them as a kid, keep them in a jar. Yeah, of course. Map. But where are fireflies? Map. Give me more maps. Okay, this is average total US... Oh, wait, no, that's lightning density. That's not what I want. Fireflies. Okay, are there two different things? No, this is like a speech thing. Oh, yeah, this is the thing. Do they call them fireflies or lightning bugs? I want to know where they are. Oh, no, I know it's a speech thing. Yeah. When I took that test, it got it almost exactly right. I was like, I have exactly the regional dialect that I'm supposed to for where I'm from. Where do fireflies live in the United States? Okay, this just says fireflies are found in temperate and tropical regions on every continent except Antarctica. They live throughout the United States in parks, meadows, gardens, and woodland edges. They're mostly seen on summer evenings. I love them so much. I don't even know why. I just do. They're great. I know, the US is a giant place. But also, like, you know, supposedly... brown recluse spiders are only in, like, the Midwest and the eastern part of the United States, but they're fucking bugs. Like, You have like a couple boxes that have brown recluse spiders in them when you move from Kansas to California, and so you brought some of the bugs with you, and now there's fucking brown recluses in California. Congrats, that's all it takes. I'm a brown recluse. Anansi. Oh no. That's like saying this cat lives in Asia. Okay, where? Bitch, where? Asia is huge. Siberia is in Asia, and so is Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Love having a mantis in the garden. Some mantises are invasive species. Fireflies are not poisonous. Oh, brown recluses are, though. I mean, they're venomous, at least. That was a really good joke, Anansi. Yeah, I liked it. It was really funny. Apparently spreading kudzu vines is a huge no-no legally. I didn't know about them. Oh my god. Is there anything serious we should actually talk about today? Or are we cool with just vibing? We've been doing like, we got up to like 70 viewers and now we're back to 55. Like, I don't know. We're just kind of talking about whatever. I'll have to take some fireflies to Kansas. No, you don't need to. I'm saying that there are fireflies here. There's a lot of them. I'm like looking forward to it. You know, I'm camping next month, and I'm supposed to go camping. I don't know if I actually will. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm going. But I usually go camping every year during this June, and there's like fireflies, and I'm so stoked about it. I'm an arthropod nerd. I got all your arthropod facts. The KK Kelly clip is really funny. Would be a good react. Okay. We got the Discord. We got stuff going on in the Discord. Oh, God. Okay. We'll do it in a second. Can we talk more about weed 420 stream when? I mean, I don't know. I live somewhere where it's illegal, so I don't really have much experience to draw upon, TBH. She's hemorrhaging followers now so we can laugh at her imploding career. Yeah, we're not helping build her up at this point. People regularly argue with my East Russian friend that he isn't Asian and is white because Russia is in Europe. Dude doesn't even look kind of white. He's fucking Mongolian, dude. I mean, like, he's a Hun, racially speaking. They were definitely Asian. Does weed tea exist? Like, could you brew it in water? What would happen? So my understanding of how this works is that, I mean, yeah, I guess we're doing a little bit of a cannabis section. I know about it in theory. I guess I've read about it enough on the internet. It's like fat soluble, which is why you have it in your system for such a long time, right? So people will do stuff like make cannabis butter, because you have to like have the THC bind with a fat in order to like consume it. So you could do like a tea that you added your butter or oil. I guess you could also do an oil. Like, you don't have to do butter per se. I don't know. But it's like a fat. I make weed coconut milk and put it in coffee. Okay, yeah, so you have like the fat in the coconut milk that it binds to. Yeah. I don't know a lot about it, but that is like generally how I get it. You've also got to cook it to activate the THC if you're using flour. Yeah, like you put it in the oven or something, and like you don't burn it, but you heat it up to a certain temperature for a certain period of time, and then you cook it with butter. Are fat people better at smoking weed? I mean, the way that I've always assumed that would work is that like skinny people have less fat and therefore they clear it out of their systems sooner because there's less places for it to be stored in the body, but I have no idea. Anyway. Ooh, garlic bread. Ooh, garlic bread with can of butter. Yo. I just love can of butter. Or sorry, I just love garlic toast so much. I was like, I love can of butter. Lel. I've never tried can of butter. You can cook THC from flour on a stove. Oh, really? Like you can saute it? It's not precise temperature-wise that way, though, I guess. You risk burning it. I've always wanted to try a savory cooked food edible. I've only ever bought candies from the store. Yeah, I think I had gummies once upon a time when I traveled to Colorado or something like that. But it's been a long time. Deoxycarbylation. Anyway, I can only engage so far on this because I don't know a lot. I know in theory how it works, but yeah, I mean, I run out of things to say pretty quickly. It's still not legal in the UK. Yeah. Demon Mama used to smoke some cloves. Have you ever smoked anything ever? Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to vape nicotine. I have tried cloves, I think, once or twice. But I don't like doing it. It was a good effort. Thank you for indulging. Yeah. I smoke poles. I play the skin flute. That's what I do. On low heat, oil barely covering the flour. If it browns, the heat is too high. Keep it at there for like 10 to 13 hours. 10 to 13 hours. That seems like a long time. I thought that it took a lot less time in the oven. Skin flute is the best instrument. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of playing the skin flute, I just got LMMS, and I haven't looked at it at all, except for like I downloaded it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it per se, but I am apparently ready to start like dicking around and trying to make little musics, so that's fun. Yeah, it's actually funny. I saw that you DM'd me. I just haven't responded to any DMs today. It's funny that you DM'd me because I have been thinking about DMing you anyway about like the music stuff once I get it set up. Not because I wanted help, but because I wanted to be like, you know, maybe when I finish my first thing, I'll send this to Gayfesh. So yeah, I might have to watch some tutorials on how it works. Skin tubes. It gets a lot more out when you cook it on the stove. Interesting. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, Gayfesh. I'm wondering if this is going to be upsetting to me. If, you know, I want to just make music and have fun, but it's going to be like a fucking chore to learn the programming. I want to get into streaming/camming. Do you think I could get a decent enough webcam and mic for a total of $100, or is that a doomed endeavor? I would say probably you could get away with about $100 budget, maybe like $120 budget. I would recommend getting a Blue Snowball or Blue Snowball Ice, because that's a decent enough microphone and it's not super expensive. I think the Blue Snowball Ice is $40, $40 or maybe $60. The microphone is the thing that's most important. If you have a bad video quality, people will tolerate that. But if you have bad audio quality, people will rage quit. So you want to have a decent microphone first and foremost. I would also recommend something like, you know, mine's older. I have a Logitech C920 as my webcam. Not that that's not this. This is a Canon. I have a webcam right here. And that's a Logitech C19, which is like an older model, but it has decent video quality. But a newer one of the same style might be better for you. It's just pricing depends. So I would recommend, those are the equipment that I used, the like cheap equipment that I used and started, and people never seemed upset about my content quality. Use my brother's snowball for school projects all the time. It's pretty good. Yeah, I got the white one and not the black one. Racist, but the black one has compression settings that you can actually adjust, whereas the white one does not. I promise not to stream while you're on. We're gonna have two very different audiences, I assume. People aren't really here because they want to watch me jerk off. Or whatever it is that you do. Whatever it is that you people do. I will say, if you didn't already know this though, Mama Mephistopheles, be aware that camming is, like, your main job is gonna be being a therapist to weird guys. I don't know if that's already your experience on OnlyFans, but that's the reason why I didn't end up camming, even though I considered doing it some years ago. Yeah, I'm good, Mersh. I just have connective tissue problems and I strained my hand today. Are you sure about that? Because last night I finally watched your STP review because it had been on my front page for weeks. So I watched a 7-year-old age-gated video where you flopped around a dick for 10 minutes. If, like, flopping, is it the same as jerking off? I don't know. But yeah, that was really funny. You know, I kind of wish that I could make that video private, actually, because it's so not the representation of what my channel is. Like, I was trying to do a very different thing at that time. I was trying to be like a trans educator or like a trans masculine review channel, kind of like Chase Ross, but then I've really pivoted a lot. But I can't take that off the channel. Like, I can't private that video. Flopping is the same if it's what you're into. It's kind of dated too. No, but I can't have like 500,000 views just off my channel. You know, like, it will change the public demographic, like the public facing statistics about my video and my channel. Yeah, I can't lose it until I get to the point where my videos are regularly getting 600,000 views, which you can help by sharing the content, babes. I wonder if I should make that homework again. When I first was streaming last year, I was like, okay, it's homework. If you send me proof that you sent one of my videos to someone you know, or you posted a tweet or something about it, then I'll... What was it? I was giving very specific compliments to people. I was giving silly, specific compliments to people. Really, that's one of the things that I need to happen this year. Like, I want people to share the content. I need the channel to grow. Sharing content, ew, that requires social interaction. I'd rather just watch it 600,000 times myself. If it's unlisted, not deleted, do you lose the views still? If it's unlisted, then I don't think that negatively affects the channel, but if I make it private, that does negatively affect the channel. So I guess I could just unlist it, but I don't know. I think it looks good that I have a couple of viral videos. My school's prom is tomorrow, wondering if any of you have any fun prom experiences. IDK, what to expect. I went to a prom once, and it was fun, and it was dancing, and that's pretty much it. I think unlisting does affect views, because PhilosophyTube unlisted a lot of her lives pre-transition, and her views went down. Yeah. I only rarely... Sometimes I'll go through, and I've unlisted and privated some older content that I'm embarrassed by. But something with that many views, can't. You should check out Slay the Dragon. I don't want to do a Slay the Dragon segment tonight. I'm too tired for that shit right now. Frank Reynolds knows how to make those virus videos. God, I need to watch more It's Always Sunny. I'm watching season 12 and I haven't finished it. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a react. Thank you for being patient and dealing with the fact that I just felt like talking about bullshit for 2 hours. Oh my god, excuse me. Oh my god, that was yummy. Delicious. I ate some Chipotle earlier, and I still have more Chipotle. It's in the fridge. Delicious. Okay, shush. I've seen this person... Wait. Is this... Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. Did this woman talk to Destiny at some point recently? The one with the glasses? Do you know what I'm talking about? Nominal Naomi. Yeah, is that... Did she talk to Destiny recently? My boyfriend is an original ContraPoint stan, and I did not realize how much content she used to have. Yeah, I watched all of her old shit while it was still available. And would you want to put your music on here, or do you just want to do it for yourself? I'll probably share it with you guys. I can't imagine that I'm going to start doing an artistic endeavor and just keep it completely private. But maybe, I don't know. IDK much about her. Okay, fair enough. I don't know a lot about her either. I tried to watch it. It was like... It was a recent thing where Destiny was weighing in on about, like, transmedicalism and, like, whether non-dysphoric people are really trans or whatever. Or, like, trans-trend... No, it was trans-trender discourse. Do you want it to become your job, or do you think that would kill the enjoyment? I don't know. I don't have any idea. I mean, I feel like music is really hard to get a career in, you know? And that's fine. Like, so is streaming. Like, the fact that I can support myself streaming, thank you all for your support, is, like, pretty anomalous already. So, can't wait for the stream starting stream starting soon screen to have custom soundtracks. That's kind of what's gonna happen, probably, is I will share some of my music with you. But I don't know anything about music. I'm like, okay, now I know what these chords are, and I can identify whether they sound bright or not, but I can't really do left hand and right hand coordination very well yet, and I also don't have a MIDI controller. You know, like, people will have, like, a tiny keyboard that they have around their desk area. I think my dad has one. I'm kind of considering asking him if he'll give it to me, but I don't know if he will. So, but it's like, yeah. So making music is going to be a little bit... At first, it's going to be purely electronic, and, like, I'm not going to have a manual, like, thing to play with. I know some people with successful music jobs, and they, like, can't retire despite their music still being known. It's not like I'm going to be able to retire as a streamer either. I don't have a 401k. I have a shitty MIDI controller. It was cheap and I don't use it much, mostly for testing out VSTs, not actually composing. Yeah. I don't know anything about making music. I just know that I want to. So it's just kind of... I'm just gonna fuck around with it. The Pride Heart mug. Yeah, I think that we found this at, like, a TJ Maxx or something along those lines. It's got, like, this texture going on. Like, it's all bumpy. Anyway. I'm a bit behind, but I brought a whole-ass pineapple as my senior prom date. It got heavy pretty quick. Nice. What genre of music do you want to make? I don't know. I don't know. Hit me up in the DMs. I've been where you are, except that I took music theory in college, but figuring out production in this day and age is an entirely different knowledge set. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm learning the music theory stuff, and I'm playing my piano on a regular basis. I was playing Greensleeves, and I was, you know, just following along the sheet music. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing? And then I looked at the sheet music and it said that it was an E-flat major. And I looked down at my hand and I was like, oh, yeah, well, that is an E-flat major chord. I'm like, my hands are already in that position. And I was like, well, now I just, it's clear that I understand this to some extent. Industrial is easy to get into. You just gotta slam interesting sound samples together in a way that gets people dancing. You know, I like electronic music. I like some kinds of dubstep, or, you know, when I listen to music, I listen to pop punk shit, but I'm not trying to do anything with vocals to start with. I just mostly want to do stuff that you can do with a piano, like synth stuff, I guess. What's up, Star? Brought -1 people to senior prom for a total of 0. I stayed home. I went to one of my friends' proms, but I didn't go to like my own prom, I guess. Oh my god, my hair. I need to put it back. I gotta put it away. I'm so fucking warm. Love pop punk. No Offense is great. I should listen to No Offense's music. I just don't. Man, when I'm putting my hair up though, those arms. Looking ridiculous. There's a bill in process right now that will completely decriminalize all natural psychedelics in Massachusetts. Oh, that's cool. I didn't go to senior prom, but I did do 2 homecomings that year. Nice. I got into music from being a stage tech making recorded effects. I had a lot of samples for use, so industrial naturally worked out. I mean, Foley really is interesting to me as well. Like, I think Foley artists are fascinating, but that's not really what I'm trying to get into. I'm mostly interested in, like, orchestral arrangements and composition. I mean, not orchestral arrangements per se, but, like, the reason why I got so interested in music this time was after watching a bunch of videos about film and finding that the interesting things they were saying about the music and the purpose that it serves in the various scenes in the films, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. So the thing that I'm interested about in music is music theory, I guess. Lux, let's be beefcakes this summer. I need motivation. I go to the gym 4 days a week. I've only missed like 1 day because I had my IUD taken out. And that was the only day I didn't go since I started this in March. And I'm going to start my cut in September. So I'm going to keep bulking through the whole summer through to September. Scoring for a movie would be so cool. Yeah. I don't know that I actually want to do that. Like, I don't know if I actually want to score for a movie. That's what I'm interested in. I have 0 professional plans for my music. I just want to do it and learn and see where it takes me and see what happens. I don't mind that this is my primary thing that I do, that the streaming, you know, but it's good to have multiple revenues and it's good to have like your hand in different pots and like, yeah, I don't know. Gotta make that bathroom song, truly. I'm taking my prom friend date. We're both wearing tuxes and it's my first time wearing one, so I'm really excited. That's awesome. I hope that you have a really fun time. My problem with music is I don't care much for hip-hop beats, but I'm also a slut for complicated lyrics. I love complicated lyrics. Even if you don't get money from it, it's fun. Yeah, I basically plan to not get money from music. It's a hobby that I'm going to let be a hobby unless it really sweeps me and it becomes something that I can't not do. Then yeah, I guess then music might be something that I try and make money doing it. Who's your favorite musician? I don't have one. Fucking, I don't know, man. I guess today my favorite musician is Jonathan Colton. Because a few weeks ago I was like, you know, it's the 1st of May, 1st of May. But then also the reason why I was thinking about Dawn of the Dead is that I've had the zombie song stuck in my head. He's like, all we want to do is eat your brains. Just be like KK Slider and make some music in every genre. I was recently testing my microphone to try to get it to work after I switched, my partner switched my computer case out. And I was going like, ba ba beep ba bo boop, ba 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 beep ba, just to like kind of be able to see if the thing was working. And then I realized that I was doing Animal Crossing voice. Okay, let's see what this little debate is about. Kelly Cadigan is her name. She is the blonde with the straight, long blonde hair, very highly passing trans woman, she's young and she clearly has had access to transition care from a young age. And she has some of the most dipshit opinions that I've seen on Twitter lately. And she does all kinds of stuff like non-binary is offensive to me and things like this. So this video is 3 minutes, 37 seconds. The little debate about slavery between Kelly Cadigan and Naomi, who I am very not familiar with. But, I mean, this is just for funsies. Let's see what happens here. Whee! Oh, no, there's no sound. I want there to be sound. Thank you. Thank you.
If we go back like a couple hundred years, it was pretty normal to own slaves. Is that right or correct?
Why are we talking about slavery?
Because
Oh
I'm
my
showing you
god.
why the ad populum fallacy is a logical fallacy.
Why?
I hate her body language so much, just immediately.
Honestly, back then, a lot of Black people participated in the slave trade themselves. So
Yeah, that doesn't make slavery right. Are you trying to defend
it was a
slavery?
product of the time, dude. It
Are
was
you
a
trying to
product of the
defend
time.
slavery?
Did
Oh
you
my
not
god,
see
what?
Matt Walsh's new video on this topic? I did.
Oh wow, she's so cringe.
Did, and I think that defending slavery is cringe as
Defending slavery, but I think we're illogical if we didn't realize that a lot of Black people enjoyed being slaves.
No. No, this white girl, no, this Aryan girl named Kelly is not sitting here saying slavery is a good thing. Oh no. Girl, no. Oh god. This is so difficult. It's only been 30 seconds. There's still like 3 more minutes left.
Back when slavery was a thing.
well, how do you know that Black people enjoyed being slaves?
I mean, it's just in history. I've like read about like a lot of Black people not only participated in capturing slaves, but a lot of Black people enjoyed being slaves. Because of course, when you're
Really?
brought up doing something like being a slave your whole life, it's all you know. I'm sure a lot of slaves probably enjoyed it and were happy because that's the only lifestyle they were aware of.
That's
Can
crazy.
you not like? Can you?
I mean, this is the kind of thing that you can only say if you grow up in America where no one knows what actually happened. Like there are like horrendously violent things I have learned about what we did to the bodies of enslaved people, like the torture thing, like the torturous methods that we would use before killing them, or like the torturous methods by which we would kill them are like, I don't think I could describe them on a segment on the channel. Like if I were to put this up and edit it later, I would have to edit it out of the actual video because it was like really fucked up violent things. And you could also like force people to breed and steal their babies away, you know? So, wow, yeah. Yeah, let's not even get started on the gross experimentation on slaves in the name of quote medical science. Right. Yeah, like some of the procedures and methods that we have presently for gynecological care, for example, were for like sterilization, for example, were done on Black people and like Native American people. So that's not good. But yeah, the saying that Black people enjoyed being slaves is something that you can only say after being, you know, brought up in the whitewashed version of everything.
Do not think like that? Like, is it really that dense?
I have
of you?
never
Like,
heard of somebody enjoying having to work countless hours on a plantation, being dehumanized and whipped and told they're not human, and being beaten within an inch of their life, and being.
Saying that's
I don't
okay.
think that people
I'm just
enjoy
saying
that.
you can't deny the fact that there were probably slave owners that, just like there were really bad ones, there were probably slave owners that probably treated their slaves really nice too, right?
The institution of slavery is still fundamentally inhumane. Like the ownership of another human being is fundamentally inhumane. Oh my god, this girl is a white supremacist. You know that she is a white supremacist. You know that she is. I called her Aryan earlier, and that was mostly a joke because of how she looks, but actually though,
Like, you're not thinking logically. You're being so dense.
So
oh my god,
I'm just
what?
gonna say that in general, I think it's wrong to own humans.
Of course, we're not in that time period anymore.
But you're defending slavery.
I'm not defending it. I'm saying it was a product of the time.
You said that Black people enjoyed being slaves.
I think there were probably a good majority of Black people who back then were born and raised as slaves, probably because that's the only thing they knew. It was the environment they grew up in. If they had a slave owner who treated them well, they probably enjoyed their lives, a few of them. I think it's illogical
A few of them. A majority, a few of them. Like the little Mott and Bailey. She started off saying a majority, and that's easy to attack. It's easy to attack the idea that a majority of slaves enjoyed being slaves. But if you walk it back to the more easily defensive position, like, oh, a few people might have enjoyed it. Well, okay, a few people might have enjoyed it. That's two different statements. You've moved the goalpost. Mott and Bailey, Mott and Bailey.
Believe that every person who was a slave back then hated their life. I truly think that's illogical. I do.
I'm pretty sure that being owned is not a good thing.
Because you grew up in this generation and this is what you've been taught.
Oh my
and we
God.
know these things now.
No,
but back then,
not just because I was
societal standards were not created yet.
not just because I grew up in this generation, but because I can think logically and morally on this topic and why it is unfair to own another human based off of their birth as having like a certain skin color, for example. That's unfair.
I'm pretending
and
like I'm saying it's
illogical.
okay to own slaves now, because that's not what I'm insinuating.
You are defending slavery.
I'm not defending it. I'm just giving you the facts. Aren't you all about facts?
Yeah, if you say that something wasn't that bad because some people might have not been as bad off, as poorly off as some other people, like, that is still defending. Like, if you are trying to minimize the severity of chattel slavery, that is defending it. Oh my God. The generation of not being a slave, truly. Oh God, yeah, that was a good one. Okay.
Over feelings.
Yeah, and I believe that slavery is immoral.
Right, and I do too. But the fact was, back then, I think you're illogical if you think that some of them didn't enjoy being slaves or enjoy their lives.
Why would anyone enjoy being a slave?
That's the environment you grew up in. That's all you've ever known. So if you grew
Okay, so like something being all you've ever known also doesn't mean that you enjoy it. Like, plenty of us grew up and all we ever knew was being straight and being cisgender, and that clearly like wasn't okay for us during the time before we realized that we were trans. You know, plenty of us were like depressed even though we were like, this is supposed to be normal. Why is this thing that's supposed to be normal so painful and difficult? You know, probably lots of slaves felt that way too. Like, oh, this is supposed to be normal. You know, my mama and my daddy could handle this. Like, why am I not able to, like, why am I so weak in this environment? This should be normal and fine. Like, people are suffering despite the fact that, like, this is all they know. As though something being all you know means that you're grateful for it automatically? I don't know. This is super weird. By this logic, child abuse also does not exist. Because, hey, if it's all the kids have ever known, true. You can grow used to being in pain. It doesn't mean you accept that that's okay. Right. Absolutely. Man, as a chronically ill person with pain, for sure. The worst part is she continues to push the myth that slavery doesn't still happen to millions of people this day. Oh, man.
grew up in that environment and you have a slave owner who treats you well, that's just all they know. So they probably were happy about it. They didn't know freedom. Why is it so hard for you to understand this?
What does like a slave owner treating their slave well look like?
I mean, back then, I'm sure some of them, I'm pretty sure they fed them, right? Or probably that like they weren't whipping anybody.
Bare fucking minimum. Like, they're fed and not being actively whipped. Therefore, that is a good condition of slavery. She's not even like able to come up with an example like they get to sit at the same table and like they are part of the family. Like, she could be making up some bullshit and she can't even get that far. People were often not even fed. Well, yeah, of course, Eric, she's supposed to be giving an example of a good slave owner who would have happy slaves. That's where she's at right now. I love how she's acting like Naomi is somehow the idiot here. Like, why can't you understand this? Like, oh my God, I would slap the fuck out of that bitch. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please say she's grifting and not actually this ignorant. She's got to be grifting. There's no way she's this stupid. There's no fucking way.
Or like not tormenting anyone, just like I don't have like specific details for
oh,
you.
Okay, as long as you're working inhumane hours on plantations, but you're being fed, then that's a good thing.
Again, I'm not saying slavery was a good thing. You're not gonna like try to make it seem like that's what I'm saying, because I don't know what you want me to say. If you want to believe that every person back then who was a slave hated their life, go for it.
Wow, that is painful. Did someone in here say earlier that Naomi is like single-handedly keeping debate culture alive? Because stop. Let it die. Like let the past die. I don't think that debate space is where it's at anymore. It was you who said that. Why is she doing it? Stop. I'm sure even enslaved people found ways to enjoy life. That is not the same as being enslaved. Of course, junk food vegan. Yeah, like, enslaved people found ways to enjoy life. Like, when it was criminalized for, I don't know if this was a slavery thing or if it was more just like the recovery from slavery. But, you know, one of the reasons why Black women have such beautiful, interesting headscarves and like the different designs of the ways that they can tie them and stuff is because at one point it was made illegal for them to have their hair uncovered because allegedly that was what was causing all the rape, where white men would just their black women's hair was too sexy. They couldn't control themselves, so black women needed to cover their hair up. And like black women's response to that was to create like this wonderful thing that ended up being a part of their culture, where like even still to this day, wrapping their hair and covering it up for a bit and like, you know, wrapping it in a way where there's a beautiful like flower design, you know, in the little knot of the headscarf, like that is one of the ways that they managed to turn their situation into something positive. And, you know, like collard greens and some of the other types of food that are considered, you know, typical black people having a cookout kind of foods. They're foods that they were like shitty foods that they were being given, and they just managed to make them into something that was delicious and nutritious, and that is now a part of their culture to this day. This is part of why it's so annoying that oxtail is so expensive. I know that this is not like a black people thing, but it's like an indigenous people thing, that, you know, oxtail used to be, you know, there's not very much meat on that part of the ox, right? There's not like very much going on. So that like, it was just like the leftover parts that nobody else wanted to eat. And now it's a fucking delicacy. And since there's only one ass on each fucking ox, you know, it's really like hard to get a hold of instead of being cheap and inexpensive and easy to get a hold of. Lobster used to be a peasant's food too. Yeah, they were like disgusting, these ocean bugs. And now it's like I want to get some crab legs or lobster. I guess crab is where I'm leaning towards because I've had crab. I don't actually know if I've ever had lobster. I've definitely had crab before. But it's so expensive. I just want some crab. I just want some buttered crab. But it's like $21 for like the frozen box of crab, you know, like the part of the claw. Bug stream, bug stream. A lot of black slave food was influenced by native winter foods, which were foods made from plants you could commonly find all year round. That's really cool. I love food history stuff like that as well. Lots of cultures eat hella oxtail. It's a historical Northern European and Asian food as well. Lobster is disgusting and should have stayed a trash food. I haven't had lobster in a long time, if ever, so I can't remember. I have cedar plank grilled lobster tails, and I've made my own lemon garlic butter. Get the fuck out of here, Shade. God. It's a shame that so much seafood is now full of microplastics. I was thinking about this recently. Like, I've been eating salmon more often recently because my partner really doesn't like seafood that much. And, you know, when you cook fish, it kind of smells up the entire place. So I wasn't eating very much fish back then. I would eat tuna packets, you know. But now I'm like, oh, okay, I want to eat salmon. And now I'm realizing, like, I really should cut back on how much salmon and tuna I eat. Those should probably be rarer in my diet because there's, like, less microplastics in beef and pork and things like that. Lobster is better than crab by texture and taste. Oh, okay. Black culture and history is a culture and history of struggle and strength. Much love for our African American fellows. For sure, Anthony, yeah. Tuna, especially from mercury buildup. Oh, it's so easy to just eat like a pouch of tuna. I'm allergic to seafood. Oh, that's a bummer. Don't we all have microplastics? Yes, everybody has microplastics, but you can end up with more of it in you, and you, in like certain dietary choices, can end up with like, there's a lot more microplastics in fish than in other things because fish like breathe water, you know? And so if there's microplastics in the water, they're breathing water. There's not really microplastics in the air so much. So we have less of it, like above ground animals have less microplastics in their body because we're not like breathing it in constantly. But the fish are breathing in the water, so they end up with a bunch of microplastics in their bodies, and then if we eat that, then it's in our bodies. So, yeah. Pre-veganism, I ate like 4 cans of tuna a day and got mercury problems because of that. Oh no, it is just an easy food, I know. I don't eat it daily, I only eat it maybe like once a week. But my God. I'm Choctaw, and we have stories about black slaves teaching us how to season our foods to enhance the flavors, and in exchange, we taught black slaves how to out-survive white people in winter. Oh, I love that so much. What you're saying is go vegan. I mean, even with your plant stuff, you have to be careful where it's sourced. Because, like, I don't know, do you want to eat rice? Don't eat any rice that was grown in America, because there's probably a bunch of arsenic in it. Are there microplastics in ass? Because I like to eat that a lot. Probably, but I'm not going to stop you. Human breast milk has microplastic problems, for instance. Yeah. The bigger the fish, the more toxins due to bioaccumulation. Yeah, it's kind of like the reason why you wouldn't want to eat a T-Rex. Because the T-Rex has, you know, like a lot of heavy metals in it because it's so high up the food chain. The bussy industry must stay alive. Oh no. In fairness, most places don't have filtration in our waters for microplastics. So yeah, of course. Like, we drink water. I need to start filtering my water more. I don't actually know if there's anywhere in the United States that truly has safe drinking water. I just found out that the groundwater in the part of Illinois I'm moving to is super contaminated with Roundup and fertilizers. Rip my aquariums. Oh no. I know that some of my partner has, one of his tanks is a vivarium that has a water feature in it. And he got his water from, like, a local store that had special water. But I don't know, is that just, like, tap water that they've treated with chemicals? I have no idea. Is bussy vegan? Yeah, you don't kill the bussy, so I don't think it counts as eating it for real. Pretty sure it's vegan. Home filtration isn't enough for microplastics. Has to be done at community level because most people don't have the tools needed. Yeah, I just meant in general, like, I think that having an inline filter for basic minerals and stuff is probably important as well. I mean, and your hair can get mineral buildup in it, so it's good to have, like, a cleansing, like a shampoo that actually will clean that stuff out of your hair. Anyway. The good aquarium store owner basically said I'm going to have insane algae issues as I like tropical beta tanks. Ooh. Yeah, problem being that most communities can't even get basic filtration, let alone microplastic filtration. This is part of why I can't live in this country anymore. What's up, Danny? And Elliot, hello. Part of the reasons why I don't want to live in this country anymore is because, like, why do we not have clean drinking water? Like, why do we live in a country where we just allow there to not be clean drinking water? And we don't regularly, like, burn down the homes of people who have the power to fix those things and who won't fix those things. Like, I think that we should live in a country where we fuck shit up constantly until things are fixed. Like, this is why I need to get out of here, because otherwise I am going to become a person who does fucked up shit. And I don't want to become a person who does fucked up shit. So I am going to focus on taking care of the teenagers in my life and not V for Vendetta-ing. You know what I mean? I applied for a bunch of city jobs today. I might be an animal control trainee or fitness activities leader for seniors soon. Those both sound like really nice jobs. Fitness activity leader for seniors. That sounds gorgeous. What's up, Tabaxi? Flint, Michigan, the perfect example of how our society sucks with water. Canada has the same issue with water, though, mostly for First Nation reservations. Oh yeah, for sure. In USA, though, entire states don't have any filtration and keep avoiding setting it up. I mean, it's the same reason why we keep having... Some of the reasons why we have wildfires in California and stuff is because the infrastructure hasn't been updated, because if you have to make a big investment like updating the infrastructure, well then you're going to have like less shareholder income that year. And so the shareholder income continues to go up and up and up and up and up forever, as long as you keep having the same output on the same shitty systems. Almost like it's easier to go on strike when your healthcare isn't directly tied to your job. I did not say strike, to be clear. Yeah, said it before, I'll say it again. It's not the rebels that cause the problem, it's the problems that cause the rebels. You don't have rebels in a system that's fine. Only thing I can think is if you had your own fish, but that wouldn't produce enough to be able to feed you as much as you want, along with the emotional ties to them. Oh, yeah, I don't think raising fish is a reasonable way to get food. It's like, I'm like, you know, it's like I can eat fish once in a while. Like, I already have microplastics in my body. I think the main issue with microplastics is that they can cause infertility, but I don't think I want to have kids that way. So in that case, it's not really a huge issue, but I mean, we don't really know what the long-term effects are, but it's completely unavoidable. Like even, oh, I don't have it right here. You know, the wrappers that your food comes in when you get like a burger, you know, like it's that paper, but it has like a bit of a plastic coating on it that has microplastics in it. And because of its like exposure to heat by being close to your food, or if you microwave it, like that is something that can give, that can impart a microplastic quality to the food that you're eating. So like we already have them. It's literally unavoidable. And of all the things that I'm avoiding in order to keep my health going, like I think avoiding microplastics is the thing that I do not have I do not have the space to think about it very much, at least. Like maybe I'll know, okay, I shouldn't eat salmon more than maybe once or twice a month. But yeah, it's just I don't know how to deal. You hate chickens, but they are also the easiest, cheapest, and toughest critters to raise for food. Also, goats are good for milk and meat. Are chickens actually the easiest, cheapest, and toughest critters to raise for food? Or is that rabbits? I guess rabbits are not the toughest critters to raise for food, but you could get a lot of rabbits in a really short amount of time. Oh, yes. Litigation over Forever Chemicals is growing. Is your company the next defendant? Yeah, Forever Chemicals. Like, this is why I bought stainless steel pots and pans, because I don't want to have Teflon Forever Chemicals. Chickens are directly related to the T-Rex. I've heard that. Yeah, there's litigation surrounding the production of use of PFAs, ticking upward in state and federal courts in the USA. They're man-made chemicals resistant to breaking down, so they're called forever chemicals because you get them in your body and then you can't get rid of them. Oh my god, excuse me. In this recent uptick of PFAs-related litigation, the breadth of plaintiffs at issue has grown, moving from owners of places where PFAS are manufactured to owners of places such as air bases that merely use PFAS-containing materials. I can't wait until we get a Marvel series about a superhero who gets powers from microplastics. Rabbits are pretty good for meat if you're willing to kill them and can supplement your diet with fats. Yes, I know you need more fat in your diet than the rabbits are able to give you. I don't want to keep fucking chickens. Maybe if I had a place that I could keep chickens and they were well away from my house. But the further away they are from the house, the more likely they're to be subject to predation. So, I don't know, man. I don't fucking like chickens. There was a Doctor Who episode about microplastics. I didn't know that, and I haven't seen it. So don't tell me any more about it. It sounds weird, but it comforts me that there are still tribes out there who live without all the stuff that we do, because then at least humans stand some sort of chance against this. Rabbits carry rabbit fever as well. Not if I bought the rabbits. I cannot kill the rabbits. Honestly, I get sad when I think about how meat used to be a living thing. I just watched a video recently of a little girl, like, absolutely losing it about how she loves nature and animals are part of nature and she doesn't want to eat animals anymore. And her parents were like, we support you. It's okay. She's like eating a green bean. She's like, I don't want to eat animals, but I love bacon so much. And it's like, it's so sad. Ow. I looked at a flavor powder packet for ramen and thought, damn, can you imagine being killed and turned into a cheap flavor powder? It's really sad. I'm not sure if I'd be willing to kill a rabbit. I could probably do it once, but I was still fucky feeling when I had to live feed a monitor before getting it on frozen thawed. What the fuck did you just say? I have no idea what that sentence meant. But yeah, so I mean, part of the reason why I was talking about hunting squirrels a few months ago when we had that conversation is because I want to test my ability to kill an animal for that kind of, like, that intuitive sense of, like, closeness with death, you know? I killed a rabbit, but it was a mercy kill because a predator got it and didn't finish the job. Like, I'm curious. Obviously, it's one thing to, like, shoot something, get a 22 pellet rifle, exactly. You can shoot a squirrel. But, like, if you have a trap and you catch a rabbit, like, would I be able to do that? I don't know. Like, my partner used to keep ants. He kept an ant farm, and he would get live mealworms, and then he would cut them in half and then give them to the ants. And one time he asked me to do it because he was at work or something. And he was like, I really don't like doing this. Like, I have a hard time with it. And I didn't get that at all. I was like, it's a fucking mealworm. And I cut that bitch in half. Well, you kind of like cut the head off and then you cut it in half because the head has like mouth parts that can hurt the ants. So then you give it to the ants and they can eat it. And there's plenty of protein in there. It's delicious. So I didn't really have any issues with that. But I don't know, like, when it comes to something that's cuter, more mammalian, I don't know. I want to know. You could definitely kill some squirrels around here. They're pesky. Also, you'd be more than welcome to fry them. They are delicious. I've never eaten squirrel before. I mostly want the hide. If I kill a squirrel, I mostly want the skin. Not that I wouldn't try. I'm definitely pretty capable of hunting. It just feels good to kill my own food the few times I've done it. That sounds interesting. I'm a trap and I could never catch a rabbit. I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, keeping animals for slaughter. If you move to Seattle, I'm sure Vermin would like the skin too. I just really love the idea, because I do Renaissance Festival every year. And so I love the idea of catching or shooting, like killing, skinning, stripping, and eating, maybe eating, I'm not sure. But then like skinning and preserving the fur, and then attaching the fur of the skinned squirrels to my clothes. Like, and then I could have like, these are my like winter Renaissance Festival leggings, or like, because I've seen some leg wraps that are like a bunch of rabbit furs, and then they're like wrapped on with leather like straps, and it's fucking sexy as fuck. Flushed a mouse down the toilet last week. That's a terrible way to kill a mouse. You should have just stepped on it. The hide is spelled H-I-D-E. Yes. Back in elementary school, one of the teachers had a snake. She tried to give it a live mouse, but it never ate it, so she gave it to me, and I just had a pet mouse. Maybe you could do a Homestead leftist vid. Most of them that I see are probably right-wing. Xander Hall really is trying to do a Homestead leftism thing. He wants to raise quail and stuff, and I really support that. I would kind of like to do stuff like that, I guess, but it's gonna, I would need to not live, like, in a shitty little studio apartment, basically, like, it was in the toilet, it had it coming. You shouldn't drown animals. That's not cool. I think I'd find it so hard to kill an animal unless it was, like, attacking me, because then I'd feel like it was justified in some weird way. I guess it's all just cognitive dissonance. I mean, yeah, I guess to me it's just like, maybe it's worth it to me because the animal has something that I want. It is a thinking creature. It's like a living thinking creature, and can I hold that in my mind, the knowledge and respect for this living, breathing thing, and take that away from it? Like, I don't know. I'm fascinated by it, though. Death is so interesting to me. Remember when I said half the reason I'm dating my boyfriend is because he's comfy? The other half is so I can call him if there's a spider or roach in my apartment. I can't kill things, but roaches and spiders terrify me. This is part of why I want more money given to indigenous organizations. They do a fantastic job of documenting traditional First Nation culture and practices, including their hunting standards. Yeah, mad respect for it, for true. Squirrel stapler. I saw Markiplier posted that, but I haven't watched the video. I'm in. I can be a groundkeeper and do gardening. I know how to can things and pickle things too. Homestead commune. Homestead commune. Homestead commune. Never mess with the squirrels. Never mess with the crows. That's 101. Squirrels are, like, not nearly as smart as crows. Definitely love to talk to you about my views on that. Too big a thing in stream. Yeah, no worries. I'm like, I guess I could, like, get a trap. Because I have family members who have, like, traps for squirrels. Homestead polycule. Listen, here's the thing. My partner and I are, like, trying to make our relationship work out. If it doesn't work out, I am gonna be permanently single. I've already decided. Like, I just am so fucking done with relationships. I don't even really like having friends at this point in my life, you know? Like, the drama potential. Like, I want to have friends, but, like, ultimately I kind of don't like it. Which is weird, because, like, I want to be friends with people, and I'm like, when I try to, I'm like, this is fucking hard. So it's a hard place to be, for sure. I don't think I'm cut out for commune life, but I want to do a co-op. Just get some friends and buy a property together and divide it into apartments or small houses or something. I just want to be a witch that lives in the woods, but attracts animals like Snow White. I saw 2 crows chasing a squirrel high in the trees the other day. They were really trying to kill it. I guess it was trying to steal some eggs. Fuck them squirrels! Dude, I want to be friends with the crows, though. Pigs are cute, but if you raise one unethically, it might eat you. Even if you raise one ethically, it might eat you. I was reading a story last year about a woman who kept pigs, and she just fell down. She was an old woman, and she fell down, and she couldn't get back up, and they ate her. I've never understood that. With my friends, we've literally never had drama, but then we are mostly neurodivergent. I just have had a really hard time with relationships and friendships and stuff for the past, like, forever. Pigs will, in fact, eat anything. I know. They're disgusting. They're vicious, and they... Apparently human being tastes somewhat like pork. I knew criminals who were rumored to have gotten rid of crime evidence in the 1940s. Wait, by feeding them to pigs? Yeah, thinking back to the movie Hannibal. With a nice Chianti. Dogs won't eat you if you die until they are starving. Cats will wait for your body to no longer be warm and then eat your face. Pigs will wait for you to stop breathing and then your dinner. Do pigs even wait for you to stop breathing, though? Because I got the impression that she was only, that, you know, she fell and she was just, it was just that she couldn't get up. I don't know if they ate her alive. And also, you can't, like, someone with a pet pig... I saw someone who was about to get top surgery and they had a pet pig and they were like, I need someone to watch my pig for me because if my pig is in the house while I'm recovering from surgery, the pig will sense that I'm weakened and it will try to usurp me in the power structure. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fucking work. Pigs eat bone, which is why they are used for corpse disposal. Look up Esther the Wonder Pig. Some people have pet house pigs and never had an issue. Yeah, I mean, if you have one pig, that's not the same as having, like, a bunch of pigs. If you gotta worry about your pet eating you when you're sick, maybe... No, it's not that they try to eat you. But it is that they try to bully you and take dominance. So, yeah. Apparently a single pig makes 5 times the waste a human does. Gross. I don't even like pork, y'all. I like bacon, and I like bacon because it is a cured and salted product, but when I actually eat pork, I'm like, wow, this fucking sucks. It's not good. It's not a good texture. It's not good. I like cats. They try to bully me to take dominance, and I just pick them up and be like, you are small and I can hold you aloft. Yeah, it doesn't matter how vicious a cat is. It doesn't matter how much it scratches me up and bites me and stuff. It's like, I can just hold you here, and there's nothing you can do. You can scramble all you want. Like, you think that the pain a cat can inflict on me is enough to make me let go if I really am trying to hold on? Nah. No. Imagine living with a pig and getting rid of 5 human poops worth a day. I know, I don't want to, like... You gotta shovel the shit out, for sure. I guess pulled pork is pretty good. Yeah, but like you guys are talking about processed, flavored porks. Ham, processed, flavored, cured, salted, sweetened. Pulled pork, also salted, sweetened, cooked for a really long time. Like pork chops, gross. Don't like them. As a processed product, pork is really good. Lux, could you defeat a raccoon in a fight? I don't know. Raccoons have, like, thumbs, which kind of makes things a little bit difficult. Pig on spit is incredible. I've never had a pig on a spit. Nah, bro, if a pig tries to bully me, it's getting bonked on the snout. Yeah. How did I even manage this? Catching Lux twice in a few days. Yeah, Veronica. So I am actually one of the few streamers I know who has a regular stream schedule. We stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central Time, and on Sundays at 12 p.m. Central Time. So we start at noon on Sundays. And those are the days that I stream. Yeah, thank you. Pork chops are gross and tasteless. I don't like them. I could defeat a raccoon in a fight. They're short. I can kick really hard. Lots of raccoons have rabies. I really wouldn't want to test myself on a raccoon, if at all possible. Punt them. You gotta be careful, though, because as a human, you only have 2 feet on the ground, right? So you gotta, like, if you go to kick an animal... You're off balance. Like, you have the potential to get knocked off balance. So, like, if a dog is coming at you and you try to kick the dog and it runs into your other leg, like, if you kick the dog and you miss, or if you kick the dog and then it runs into your other leg, like, you're down on the ground and then you've lost your advantage against the dog. You should have Silence glazed ham she made for Christmas one year as a challenge to Demon Mama saying ham was a bullshit holiday food. That sounds so fun. I love the interactions that y'all have up there. It's like, yeah, I will allow you to make a big Christmas ham because I think it's a bullshit holiday food. Like, and then Silence, like, yeah, I'm gonna bring, like, that's the thing that I'm bringing to this dinner is a big fucking ham. I love Silent. She's great. The minute you hit the floor, bam, that raccoon will be off with your face in a second. Exactly. 1 horse-sized duck or many duck-sized horses? I mean, I think that the correct answer to that is many duck-sized horses, because horses' circulatory systems are very easy to completely destroy. Do you guys know why you have to put down a horse after it breaks its leg? You know, you usually think, like, oh, why... Like, human beings can break a leg, and we don't, like, put them down. We just let them heal and recover. It's because horses have, like, their circulatory system is reliant upon them being able to run. And so once they break a leg, like, it doesn't ever quite heal correctly. So if you have a bunch of duck-sized horses, if you just kick them and break their legs, like, they can't fucking do anything anymore. Also, a horse-sized duck is a velociraptor. True. Oh my god, so many burps today. Oh my god, excuse me. Delicious. Ducks are vicious creatures. They'd eat you. No, ducks would kill you and then rape you. That's what ducks would do. Ducks are the worst. Look at the inside of a duck's mouth and you go, no thank you. True. Ducks are terrible. They just have a lot of teeth, right? Do you think those toothpick legs could hold up the weight of a duck that was the size of a horse? We're just assuming that everything scales up to support the weight. Because also, ducks have, like, hollow bones in general because they fly. I've heard the duck is really fatty. I've never eaten duck before, though. Oh, it's a serrated bill. Yeah. Ducks will kill you and then rape you, so ducks are Republicans? No. With all this animal hatred, what's your favorite animal? I mean, I think the easy answer to that is cats. Ducks are reavers. Literally, Gayfesh, literally that's where I was, and I chose not to make the joke. Because I was like, I don't know if many people are gonna get that. That's literally where I was. Like, you better hope that they do it in that order. That was the next thought that I had. They'll kill you, and then rape you, and then skin you. And if we're lucky, they'll do it in that order. I like duck. It's like a chicken made of all dark meat. Ooh! Yeah, I've never eaten duck before. I want to try it. I've never had well-cooked duck. I had duck eggs. One time I had duck eggs, and, I didn't know that that's what had been served to me. Like, I met a woman, so, like, my husband's granddad has a wife who is not his grandma, you know? And she was, like, a weird lady, and I knew that she was, like, weirdly Christian and stuff before I met her. And so she was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and make everybody breakfast, because we were outside, and we were like, oh, great, she's gonna go make eggs. And I came inside, like, when she said the food was ready, and we started eating these scrambled eggs. They were just regular scrambled eggs, but something about them tasted really weird. And I was like, I think this woman has poisoned us. But I politely ate all the eggs and didn't say anything about the fact that they tasted weird. And then she revealed at the end of the meal that she had cooked duck eggs. Because my mother-in-law had sent duck eggs. Like, it's like, yeah, so I had duck eggs and, like, didn't know that that's what I was eating, so I don't know what they taste like. They're not too dissimilar. Octopi are smarter than most people you come across. I know. I would love to keep octopi, but they only live for like 5 years, and also they are so smart that you have to really try hard to keep their tanks contained and stuff. Do I know what balut is? I've heard of balut. Oh, is that the duck fetus? Yeah, I've seen them eat it on Good Mythical Morning. My knowledge of weird foods is expanded somewhat because of Good Mythical Morning. Is balut, is it specifically duck, or is like a partially developed chick of any kind? Like an egg that got fertilized? They only live that long in captivity. Okay, yeah. I was talking about having a pet one. Duh. Like, it's like if I said, you know, oh, cats live for about 20 years, and you're like, only in captivity? Like, duh. No shit, if it's in the wild, it's more likely to die. I think it's just duck. Balut. 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 It's a fertilized bird egg, usually a duck, which is incubated for a period of 14 to 21 days, depending on the local culture, and then steamed. Yeah, that sounds horrible. It sounds really disgusting. Did it waffle, though? Cat in the wild lives like 2 to 5 years. Yeah. They can live longer in the wild, actually? Wait, what? I thought they lived 5 years, like, in general. Wait, really? Do octopi... I can't fucking type today. Live longer in captivity. Octopuses, both wild and native, live roughly 1 to 5 years. The short lifespan is a consequence of the reproductive strategy known as semiparity, meaning that octopuses breed only once in their lifetime and die shortly thereafter. Octopuses normally live up to 2 or 3 years, whether it's in captivity or in the wild. Giant Pacific octopus can live up to 5 years. Depends on the species. Most octopus species don't live longer than 2 years. Shallow dwelling octopuses have a short lifespan. The average lifespan of most species is about 2 years. So yeah, it's because they, you know, they don't really need to grow to old age. We are probably listen, I've thought that before, Gayfesh, that like it's really good that octopi die after only a few years, because if they lived longer, they would be able to accumulate knowledge and they would usurp us. They would destroy us. They can live like up to 5 years depending on the species, but on average 2 years. So it's like on average, cats don't live to 20 years. On average, it's probably more like 16. But they can live to be up to like, you know, 20, 22. Once they figure out how to breed without dying, it's over for us all. I know. Sperm whales might be smarter than us, but they don't got no arms. But octopi got 8. Yeah. Octopus are scary. That's kind of what really was scary about the movie Life that my partner tried to watch with me. Is like, there is, it's like octopus-like, you know? And it's kind of hard to deal with an enemy like that because they can just grab you. Cats have space lasers already. The oldest living cat was 38 years and 3 days. God. Can you imagine having a cat in your life that long? That would be crazy. Yeah, once the cephalopods can live past reproduction, we'll be on the path to Splatoon. This has been a nice stream, a nice chill stream. I like the streams where I refuse to talk about anything serious. Those are fun for me. His name was Cream Puff. Are you serious? Oh, look at him. He's so chungy. He was looking that good at age 28 or 29. Dude, he was in good health. Like, look at his fur. His fur is still such... It's still, like, a decent quality to it. You know what I mean? Like, old cats sometimes get the scrungly-looking fur. I know, Mama Mephistopheles. Like, I fully had, like... I had, like, a panic attack when I saw that part of the movie when Ryan Reynolds died, because like I was watching it with Deegan, and it's like such a long scene. It's not just Ryan Reynolds dying; it's the whole thing, and the like high tension, the entire scene, and the hand getting destroyed, and like everything is so fucked up. And I like suddenly overheated, and I like took off my hoodie and was like feeling all discombobulated and stuff. And then I went to the bathroom and I like sat on the floor and I thought I was going to throw up, and my whole body's covered in sweat. And then I ended up lying down on the cold bathroom floor for a while. I didn't end up throwing up, but I did have to lie there for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then I came back out. It's a movie called Life, 2007, I think. I don't fucking remember what year it was. Life, Ryan Reynolds and, is it Ryan Gosling? Anyway, so yeah, but I like had a full panic attack, and then I came back out and Deegan was just still watching the movie. I'm like, okay, you didn't notice that I just left? Oh, 2017. I was like, okay, you just like continued watching this movie even though I had to leave the room. You didn't pause it or like check to see what was wrong because I left in the middle of like a horrendous scene. Anyway, cisgender men. But yeah, I came back and was like, you need to turn that movie off. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna watch the rest of this with you. It was we were watching it in the living room. And I was like, you need to turn that off. Like, I can't watch the rest of it. And he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go watch the rest of it in my office. And I was like, fine, you do that. I can't watch it. Dolphins scare me, not gonna lie. They are rapey as fuck. They're so scary. Ryan Reynolds doesn't die. Have you seen Deadpool? I know. I'm gonna have to take this splint off soon. It's like this part of my hand is still kind of sensitive, but at this point this is just like getting kind of painful and annoying. Is this due to an unknown trauma? I mean, possibly. Like, I have trauma, you know? If it's any consolation, the rest of the movie isn't as good after that scene. Yeah, I was like, okay, Deegan, you're allowed to tell me what happens because I'm not going to watch this film. And he's like, yeah, there's not another scene in it that's like that. But I told him I wasn't going to finish watching it, and so he told me the ending. Sounds like a trauma response. Yeah, it wasn't that long after I got my IUD. Yes. Pretty much any, like, extreme reaction that I have, you can probably attribute to PTSD, because I had PTSD, and then I cured my PTSD, and now I have it again after my IUD got put in. So, just tape it to the finger next to it, and it'll help a bit. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I could just, like, do the tape like that around the two fingers. That's a good idea. I like Deadpool. He's cool. I've only seen the first Deadpool movie, so if there's any spoilers about the second one, I don't know anything about it. Saving Private Ryan bothered me in a way that Life didn't. Okay. What even is trauma? I was talking to my therapist once and I was like, I don't really have trauma. My dad only hit me a few times. And when I described those times, she said, that sounds traumatic. Trauma is anything that changes your nervous system's response to stimuli in a way that is congruent with, like, fear symptoms, basically. Fear or irritability or anger kind of things. Like, so any event in your life, if you, like, go through an event and it makes you, like, trust people less, or like makes you freaked out about something that you didn't used to be freaked out about, that's like a trauma event, you know? Watch the second Deadpool, it's so worth. Yeah, I'll think about doing it maybe this weekend. GOTG Volume 3 could potentially be emotionally traumatizing. I've seen a little bit about Rocket. I watched a scene with Rocket in it, so I can kind of see it being difficult. There is a phrase from that movie that I can't read without tearing up. Oh. Yeah, I saw the scene where there were some people sharing their names with each other. And I was like, well, that's kind of emotional. So I'll probably watch that when I have an opportunity to. I think I have more trauma from the horrible bullying and ostracization at school than I have from abuse. I mean, yeah, like, different things hit people differently. Like, it's weird to me that Brennan Beckwith has trauma from being bullied by Calvin Guerra, but it wasn't just being bullied by Calvin Guerra, it was also other stuff like, you know, someone supposedly knowing where they went to school and that they were like allegedly going to confront them at the school. And, like, you know, to me as a trauma survivor, it seemed strange to me that people would be so deeply affected by being attacked by Calvin Guerra, because I was physically attacked by my parent on a number of occasions when I was a child. So it's kind of like my frame of reference for trauma is totally different. I don't want to watch GOTG 3 until it's out of theaters because I don't want to support Chris Pratt. What's the deal with Chris Pratt nowadays? I thought that he was, like, I was reading something earlier and it was like, he's not even a member of that church that people think that he was a member of, and he does actually support LGBT people according to his castmates. So, like, what is the issue with Chris Pratt now? Like, because I do remember at one point he was saying he's an evangelical Christian, and he goes to a church that's homophobic. But I guess, like, he doesn't even go to that church anymore, and he does support gay people. So why do we hate Chris Pratt? It's hard to pin down the Chris Pratt thing. I've heard he's weirdly Christian, but I can't find anything else definitive. His support of LGBT people is the kind of tepid support you hear from people who are hiding their politics because they know they'll be stuck doing Kevin Sorbo roles if they're too vocal. I guess, yeah, I guess that's fair. But it's like, why is there so much hate toward Chris Pratt? If he's actually figured out that he needs to shut the fuck up, I am actually okay with those kind of soft bigots who have learned that they need to keep their mouths shut. Like, I'm okay with that. I saw some real-life graphic violence in my late teens and early 20s. Bad things happened to people I know personally. Left a lifelong mark on me. Yeah, even if you're not the one who's personally in danger, if something dangerous happens to someone you know and someone you love, like, as a black person in America, like, they have to witness people in their own demographic being attacked. And so because their proximity to that person, I think Elliot Page started it by calling him out, but yeah, he didn't go to the church he was accused of. Even so, the church he is affiliated with was branched off from that church, so the association is still there. Okay. I mean, I do remember being, like, vehemently opposed to Chris Pratt at one point, and I was just like, why do we care anymore, though? I saw him talking about his functional child. I thought that he just said something like, you know, I'm so grateful that my new wife gave me a healthy child, and it was the word healthy that people thought he was throwing shade on his disabled kid. I'm just getting more tired of seeing him and everything. I mean, that's good enough. He's not, like, a good enough actor to be in all these things. How about we get some more Chris Pine? I'll take some more Chris Pine. Yeah, later, Veronica. Sorry the stream put you in a bad place. Hope you feel better a little bit later. I don't know if stream is gonna go much longer. I mean, I don't know. We're just, like, chilling, and there's a decent number of viewers in here right now, so there's no real reason to, like, quit stream. But I do be sleepy, though. I'm also just, like, still in a shit mood, so we're, like, 3 hours in. There was a rom-com she was in with a sex scene where it's heavily implied she's pegging the dude. Nice. Excuse me. That's the thing with streams. You can't really give trigger warnings and stuff because it's off the cuff. I mean, even if you give a trigger warning, there's going to be people who come in while you're in the middle of talking about it. Oh, holy shit, that's crazy. What is Chris course? Do you mean, like, Chris Chan? What's Chris course? Oh, no, you're just saying, like, Chris Pine versus Chris Pratt versus, like, Chris Evans? Which one is Chris Evans? Is Chris Evans Captain America? I mean, yeah, there's no problem with Captain America, right? There's nothing weird about him. He's cool. I don't know. Yeah, no worries, Veronica. Hope you get to feeling better soon. I haven't watched a new Marvel movie in a while. I'm, like, behind on Marvel shit. I haven't watched Doctor Strange 2 because you're supposed to watch the entire show about, WandaVision. That's the one that you're supposed to watch in order to understand. Is that right? You have to watch WandaVision in order to understand Doctor Strange 2? I'm surprised Chris Pine isn't in the MCU yet. Yeah, they got him for Star Trek. WandaVision is honestly the most creative thing to come out of Phase 4. So I haven't watched WandaVision, which means I haven't watched Doctor Strange 2, and I haven't seen Guardians 3, which just came out, and I think there might even be, like, a Superman, or not a Superman, God, a Spider-Man in there that I'm missing. Did you watch the new Evil Dead? Nope. What's up, Anjali? Chris Hemsworth was also in Star Trek before Marvel. I know, he played Kirk's dad. Ah, I love that. He's so cute. I do like Chris Hemsworth. Why are there so many Chris's? These Chris's need to do the thing that women do, which is change their entire name. I've been only sparingly watching Marvel stuff since Endgame. It felt like a good place to get off the serious fan train. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to know. Why are you in here spoiling for me? Why are you in here spoiling shit for me? Don't spoil shit for me on stuff that I do intend to watch. Thank you. This is why I try to, yeah, that's why I don't watch trailers, Steph. I don't watch trailers because trailers give away shit that I don't want to know about before I watch the movie. Like, I am a little bit above average in my avoidance of spoilers for most things. I know a couple of Chris's. Yeah, but it's about the confusion. That's what I care about. I care about the confusion. Like, what was it? It was a trailer for... I don't know. Like, the trailers are all... Yeah, that's why I try to be clear, like, I have seen this, I haven't seen this, I have seen this, I haven't seen this. Because, like, obviously we're having a discussion about something that, like, people have already seen. But that's already spoiled. Yeah, you underestimate my ability to quickly scroll past things that I don't want to know about. And I'm like, I didn't see anything. Because here's the thing. I have to be well-trained at avoiding looking at spoilers because none of you people have any respect. Like, I don't mean, like, you personally, per se. Like, none of you people, I mean you internet people. Because people will just post screenshots from, like, the most recent episode of a show the night that it came out. And it's like, yo, people are at work. Like, I'm trying to know about this when like, I watch it. And you are fucking things up for me on Twitter. I have unfollowed people. I have unfriended people. Because there's no respect for it. Have you talked about Illuminati today? I blessedly still don't know anything about her. Generation X did have a lot more people named Chris. There were also a lot of people named Jason as well. Yeah, I know so many Jasons. I avoid social media until I've seen the latest thing. Whatever it is, it's hard, especially with binge stream culture. Yeah, with Drag Race, with House of the Dragon, you know... It's like, I have to watch the thing as soon as it comes out if I don't want to be spoiled on it. Because there just seems to be this expectation that, you know, you watch everything as soon as it comes out and, like, everybody does it. And so it's a cultural event. And so, like, it's almost like the entirety of our culture is treated as being, like, here's the timeline. You know how there's, like, no spoilers in World of Warcraft? Because it's understood to be the live update on the world. So if if someone wants to talk to me about something from an expansion 8 years ago, I'm usually like, well, I don't really want to know anything about the story because I missed that part and I want to experience it. But WoW isn't really treated that way. And so that is increasingly more and more the way that everywhere is, where there's no understanding of, like, people don't want to watch this like the moment that it comes out. And it's also really annoying to me because it's actually also pretty classist for some things. Like, okay, I don't want to go to the movie theater and spend $30 to try to see a movie. So I'm going to wait a few months for it to come out on video so that I can, like, pay to stream it. But people are spoiling shit before it's even available to watch online. I've known 6 people named Jaden or Jaden, and 5 of them play saxophone. I'm still back at Thor Dark World. My ex never wanted to watch movies. Oh, yeah. You should catch up, though. Well, yeah, I mean, the ticket itself is like $12, $14, $15. And then, so if you go 2 people, that's easily $30. And if you stop and get a soda, or if you get, like, yeah, food or anything, yeah. You get yourself a popcorn. I'll buy food at the theater sometimes because it's that's how theaters make their money, is off of concessions. They don't actually make money off of or not very much money at least, off of the ticket sales. Video game industry is all that way now. Destiny 2, if you miss it, it eventually disappeared. Thor Dark World is the Thor Dark World of movies. I didn't think it was that great. Yeah, it wasn't that great. I don't really love going to the movies. And also now there's a COVID risk involved. So, like, yeah. I don't really go to the movies very often. And I don't like being punished for not being able to afford or not wanting to go to the theater. They're also somehow always sticky. Yeah, the floors, the like... Every step that you take. Every step you take. Maybe one of these days I'll go to a matinee. If there's some movie coming out, I'll go to a matinee. I should do Foley work with those sound effects. Lovely. Can you sing? Rosie, where have you been? Yeah, I can sing. I sing a lot on this stream, actually. I can sing in a beautiful falsetto, and I can also sing, like, country music in a deep voice. But I also have been streaming for 3 hours, so my voice is a little bit tired. I feel like you can't usually hear the sound, but that sound was how it feels. Yeah, I know. Just... not paying attention because autism. Yeah. I really am looking forward to someday having, I want like a fan like Jazz Dog. You know how Jazz Dog makes all those like remixes and stuff? That's the kind of fan art that I'm after. I want people to make music remixes out of little sound bites from my streams. That would be lit. Lux can't sing. I dare you to prove me wrong. Well, I'm only going to prove you right now because my voice is tired. And I've been talking for like 3 consecutive hours. I'll be watching you. I can squeak for sure. I transitioned so that I could bring stuff into the movie theater in my purse. True. Dude, Alejandra Caraballo tweeted at Michael Knowles earlier, follow your leader. That's pretty fucking legit. Did she delete it yet? Alejandra, did she delete it? Because that's fucking hilarious. What's up, Peanut Butter Blondie? How we doing? Are we doing Prove Me Wrong bait? Lux doesn't have super great buff arms. Prove me wrong. I know. I'm hoping my shoulders even out soon, because I started working this top part, and I want that to start getting bigger, because my shoulders kind of look weird right now, with like the most of it is down here. Makes my arm look fat, that all the muscle is right here instead of like up here and down here. Anyway. I could listen to you sing for hours. What that voice box do though? Silent, thank you so much for the $30 dono. They said go watch a movie, Lux. I mean, thank you. I may or may not go to the movie theater because I actually I don't even know what movies are out right now. But thank you. I appreciate it. Very, very nice. I might have to increase the amount that I'm going for on the GoFundMe. Because, yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to have the... I might end up owing more on my taxes than I was expecting, basically. Like... D&D was amazing. Oh yeah, there's Chris Pine. That's what Chris Pine is doing. Alejandra is based apart from her backing Biden. Listen, I backed Biden. Come on. That rar sound is so cute. Yeah, I made it with my mouth. If you don't know what to go see, you can always go to a Midnight Rocky. Lel. Yeah, but I could also just have $30 and keep it. And not go... to the theater. Do you make more money from stream other than donos? I make like $500 a month off of Patreon, which is donations, but it's a pledge donation. I make like maybe $100 a month off of advertisement revenue from my YouTube videos. And then, yeah, any of the rest of the money that I make is from, like, the majority of the money that I make is from direct donations while I am live streaming. I can spend $0 and watch anime at home. Exactly. I have a Plex server that someone I know has some stuff on, and I'll go and watch shows on the Plex server. If you didn't back Biden... Wait, are you're trolling around, Anjali? or get used to using electoralism. Yeah, no, I mean, I try to be realistic about like how much money I make, you know. This is okay. Okay. Someone brought up earlier, way earlier. Oh, if you didn't back Biden over Trump, got you. Someone brought it up earlier, and so we could talk about it because it's something that I've been bitching about on Twitter a bit. Is there's this new thing that YouTube is doing where they're trying to prevent you from being able to access the website unless you have ad block disabled. Let's see if I can find one of these tweets. Ugh, God fucking Christ. Okay. So this is the picture that I've been seeing around. Ad blockers are not allowed on YouTube. It looks like you may be using an ad blocker. Ads allow YouTube to stay free for billions of users worldwide. You can go ad-free with YouTube Premium, and creators can still get paid from your subscription. So I know that people have been irritated about that, and people are really fucking ass mad about having to watch advertisements. And like, so it's an arms race, just like it was on Facebook. It was always an arms race between your ad blocker and Facebook, and they just ended up making all of the ads native, you know? So it's like the ad blocker doesn't really work on Facebook anymore. Facebook won that particular arms race. So YouTube is now trying to make it so where you can't access the website at all if you have an ad blocker on. And I understand, like, I use an ad blocker for a lot of the websites that I'm on, and one of the reasons why I keep it that way now is because I have my location data sometimes, and like I don't want my ads tailored to my location to show up on the screen, you know, because I don't stream through a VPN. And yeah, so with regards to like YouTube ads, you know, it's not a huge part of the money that I make, but it would be more money if, first of all, if YouTube gave us a greater share of the ads. You know, that's absolutely part of it, that we don't get a big enough portion of the ad revenue. But also, yeah, like 15% of users use ad block. And that means that, you know, whatever money I make is 15% less than what I would be making. So, you know, if I make like $150 one month, which I think in April I made like $150 in ads, you know, that would be closer to like $160 or $165. And for someone who only makes like $1,200 a month, that's a big deal, you know? So yeah, for YouTube, I just make a temporary account, get premium on it, and then cancel it so I get a 1 month sub to it, and then just make a new account every month if I need to. That way my views give people money with no ads. Nice. I'd rather use an ad blocker and give donos. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, donos obviously make things better. And I have thought before, I actually think it would be really annoying, but maybe now that they're making this change, I might go ahead and offer a Patreon tier where it's like a dono gives you ad-free experience, you know? Like if you, you know, if you give me a certain amount of money per month, that's more than gonna cover the fact that you're not watching ads on my videos. So if you want to use an ad blocker and still support my channel, and you don't want to buy for YouTube Premium, which I think that you should buy YouTube Premium, either get YouTube Premium and have all of your views go to all of your favorite creators to some equal amount, or pick your favorite creators and give them $1 a month donation, you know? Because the thing about premium subscriptions is that I get paid even if my video is demonetized. So, you know, the streams often get demonetized now that they're going public as soon as we're done with the stream. They frequently get demonetized, but if you have premium, I will still get paid, even if there are no ads on the video, you know? One thing that would make me consider YouTube Premium would be for YouTube Music, because that app is solid. I don't use YouTube Music app. I use my downloads list to listen to music, and that's a premium feature, and I like it a lot. You know, if you really can't give the time, if you're like 30-second videos a couple times in a video is too much, that's way too much of my time, and I'm so impatient, then pay $10 a month for your YouTube Premium. Like, you're gonna get multiple benefits out of it. Also, I really love being able to shut off my phone screen while I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to. That's how I consume most content, is I turn on, I'm like listening to I'm listening to John Oliver, I'm listening to Vosh, I'm listening to whatever, and then I just turn my phone screen off, and I'm like, I can still listen to what I'm listening to, you know? The one thing that would make me consider YouTube Premium would be for YouTube Music app. Oh, sorry, yeah, I still pirate all my music using YouTube Downloader, though. Also, I can shut off my phone screen already using Brave built-in features. Brave does all the YouTube Premium features, but browser-wide on mobile. Oh, okay, interesting. I also like that app mostly because I can save my favorites and play it without intranet. Yeah, the downloads list on YouTube Premium is super, super cool. You know, that's how I like listen to audiobooks at the gym. I noticed that I got gifted subs a lot more after I did Premium. Creators can tell. I don't actually think I can tell. And like gifted subs are like either the person who's gifting you the sub chooses you, or it just clicks like a random thing. So I don't know, maybe there's something in the YouTube backend where YouTube prioritizes gifted subs toward premium users. That would be really interesting. I wish Audible was included with Amazon Prime. Yeah, you can still use Audible even if you don't have an active subscription. Like, I listen to Audible every night when I go to bed. I don't have an active subscription. How does Kansas City do it when Missouri and Kansas law conflicts? Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri are two different municipalities. Like, they're two legally distinct entities. So the law changes when you cross the state line, just like it does any other time, you know? I don't think this is the right move for YouTube to do. Creators already have to get sponsors in order to stay afloat. Between being forced to see ads and sponsored segments, I think it will drive people off the site. If they gave creators more of the money they make for YouTube, there would be more content creators, more content, and the watching experience would have fewer ads, including fewer sponsored segments. Win for everybody, including YouTube, as their site would grow, but capitalism is stupid, cancerous ideology and only thinks in the short term. Thank you so much for the $30 dono, Seaminky. So you can treat yourself to the cinema or whatever and have $30. LMAO, get pranked. I've been pranked. You've caught me. I'm so pranked, bro. I can't even handle it. We've already maxed out the thing, but I changed it anyway. There we go. Like, I struggle with this a little bit because I feel like, you know, ads are the thing that you have to suffer through in order to have access to the free internet. You know, like none of these places would be able to buy server space and host the servers and spend the money on the air conditioning to keep the servers cool if it weren't for this model of advertisements. So like, so long as that's, if we get to 200, do we get shirtless flexing? I've already done a little bit of, I mean, do you want me to like take my actual shirt off? Sure. If we get to 200, then I'll take my shirt off. I gotta go put on a bra, but I'll take my shirt off. I've already flexed a little bit. I would highly recommend Legend of Kyoshi if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, by the way. Is Legend of Kyoshi the book? I do want to get all the books someday. That would be cool. But it's like, so long as ads are the way that you have access to a free internet, I kind of think that some, like, sucking it up is kind of necessary. And I find it, like, it's tough for me to be like, yeah, I'm okay with the fact that people use ad blocker to watch my content. Like, again, if you give one $5 dono through the entirety of you being a fan of me, that probably is more money than I would have made off of all of your individual ad views for the entirety of you being a fan of my channel. So if you give me one $5 dono, I would be like, okay, that's covered, whatever. But it's like still so hard for me to grapple with because the distinction is like between like, yeah, the corporation should be giving me more money, but it's also not like it's out of the ordinary for streamers to not make much money off of ads. You know, it's not like you make a shit ton of money off of your ads on Twitch either. And it is kind of easier to point at individual people and say like, you know, if you absolutely refuse to watch ads, then that is like you being immature and not being willing to exchange like a tiny portion of your time on this earth watching an ad in exchange for like the creator who you like to be able to afford to eat. You know what I mean? I would only read them if you watched the Avatar series already, which I am. Yeah, I have seen Avatar through so many times that I have no idea how many times I've seen it. And I've watched Korra like 2 or 3 times. So yes, I want to, and I actually, some of the graphic novels, there are some audio fan done audio versions of it. So I have consumed some of the graphic novel content. I can't do ads. That's why I got premium. I watch so much YouTube. It's worth it for me. Yeah. I mean, I can write off my YouTube premium now. I didn't used to be able to, but now that it's my job to watch content on the stream, yeah, the problem is that ads have gotten more intrusive, like adware and auto-playing ads on news sites, and people have ad blocker on by default most times and probably forget to take it off. You can whitelist YouTube as a website. I used to do that before I paid for premium. I had YouTube specifically, because even before I was a creator who really seriously made money doing this as my primary job, I was still concerned with my favorite creators getting paid. This is why I really try to dono smaller content creators, even though I do follow some bigger streamers. I feel like it's the best use of my tiny bit of discretional funds. I mean, agreed, right? Gonna shoot up my E now. Yes. Did I miss my shot this week? I think I missed my shot this week. I'll do it on Monday. Whatever, I'll just do it on Monday. I would prefer to directly support the content creators over paying YouTube. Oh yeah, that's totally fair. They platform fascists who want us dead. Understandable. But like, yeah, imagine being a YouTuber who doesn't have premium and like I have to click the skip video button every time like we are watching a video together on stream. Like for my job, I need to have YouTube Premium, and it saves me a lot of time in my life. I got Premium bundled with the introductory rate for Google Play Music way back and YouTube, and don't ever want to give up the cheapness. I do think that if I'm a part of the YouTube Partner Program, I should not have to pay for Premium. I should just get Premium. That is one thing that I think is a little bit irritating. It's easy to think you're not viewing the ads won't affect the creator, but if everybody thinks that, it all adds up. Yeah. IDK, how you do that? I panic if I miss my dose of T blockers by a few hours. Because I'm not like on hormones because I want to actively transition right now. Like, T for me at this point in my transition is like I can kind of take it or leave it. Like I'm mostly on it because it will help me build muscle. So if I'm late, I'm just like, whatever, I'll do it later. And also like I am a little bit freaked out about the needle process because I still have kind of active trauma that I'm working through. So. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this cover art. Yeah, I'm familiar with the novels from the Kyoshi and all the other ones. I started to listen to oh god, what was it? It was the I can't remember what the name of the city is. Yeah, Yudao? I think I started reading about the city of Yudao. Are injections cheaper than gel? Yes, they are. Only by about $10, but $10 makes a difference. And I don't like doing gel every day. Like, it's really fucking irritating. TBH, I don't love doing gel. Oh god. I remember Council of Geeks putting out a video about the ads from Matt Walsh and other people like that, because so many people kept getting ads for him on her channel, even the non-queer content stuff. Yeah. I know that people get Trump ads and stuff on my content, and I just generally kind of assume that it's not a huge deal for me to get money from the Trump campaigns. I have all the comics digitally if you are okay with that. If not, then everyone don't know so we can do an Avatar stream. Would love to do a book club on Avatar comics. Yeah, I am not super motivated to read nowadays, so I might, like, do the audiobooks and stuff, but I don't know. I'm really, like, stuck on A Song of Ice and Fire at the moment. Rotsoy, thank you so much for the 4 tier 1 subs. I'm giving subs so I can keep my ad blocker. Get wrecked. Yeah, okay, you have permission from now on to not use an ad blocker. I officially absolve you of any responsibility for future ad payments. Later, Darkly. Have a good night. Valid. One of these days, definitely want to read the audiobooks. Yeah, I listened to some of the graphic novel about, like, you know how Toph has, like, a metal bending academy? I read some of that one. The fact that you can pick the demographics you want to advertise to means the Daily Wire can essentially use ads to harass trans people directly, which I'm pretty sure is what they did. Yeah, like, you can... I don't want to just turn off all political ads, because back in the day when I learned about the options for this, that was the main option for me, was to turn off all political ads. Now I don't want that, because I do want political ads on my channel, potentially. I just don't want right-wing ads. So then you have to go through and add each individual website, and I just haven't gone through and done that, where you can block specifically the Daily Beast from advertising. You can specifically block Ben Shapiro from advertising, whatever. But I don't mind getting their money. So, I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Speedy Shimeji, thank you so much. Too foolish to figure out the first link. No worries, I appreciate it. The $5 donut from Speedy Shimeji. Are you planning on playing Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow at all? I am going to be buying 1 copy of it tomorrow for my partner, because my partner asked me to get it for him, so that he could get a copy since he's going to be at work. I haven't decided whether I'm going to buy one or not, like, yet. I was thinking, you know, when it comes out, I will get a copy if I can afford it, but I just need to look at my finances tonight and decide if that's something I can do or not. You should pirate Nintendo. But I have this lovely OLED Switch. Nintendo is a pretty shitty corporation, IMO. Yeah, I know. But I also have been looking forward to this game for like 5 years. You can pirate and play on a Switch. I don't have a broken Switch. Like, I don't know how it works. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. I don't know. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna spend the money and buy the Zelda game. I do want to play it, but I have never pirated a Nintendo game. From the support page, if you're a YouTube Premium member, you won't see ads, so we share your monthly membership fee with creators. I've donated to this stream before, but that makes me feel better for creators in general. Yeah, any creators you watch, guys, if you have a YouTube Premium membership, if you watch a creator, any of their content, like, if they get demonetized or age restricted or something, like, you'll still pay them with your premium views, even if they don't get ads, you know? I don't think it actually has anything to do with a chunk of each one on each channel, though. It's like the duration of watch time from premium viewers is how that disbursement happens. So technically speaking, your money goes into one big pool that then gets distributed to everybody based on, like, total amount of premium viewership time, which means that some portion of your money definitely goes to people like Ben Shapiro. So that's something. How long does it take your partner to complete games? Do you think he'd loan it to you after he's done? I don't know, maybe. He has a full-time job, so I'm not sure how long it would take him, and also I don't know whether he would let me borrow it, so we'll see. Lots of my fave games are playing GBA-emulated RPGs. Nice. What if someone were to have 20 tabs open playing the same creator? Yeah, I think that all of your premium time would go to... It would be like watching the same video over and over and over again. Like, it's total watch time, you know? I have to get it Saturday because I have a very important meeting for work tomorrow at 1. Some of my money going to the turd locker. True. I mean, yeah, it's like some of my money technically goes to Ben Shapiro because I pay for YouTube Premium. But I would love to play it. I do. I want to play Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I really enjoyed killing Lionels in the first game. And the soundtrack. Estrogen is injected. Somewhere a transphobe screams. A transphobe lost their wings today. Okay, my voice is really tired. So I'm gonna chill and figure out when the fucking nearest Walmart opens in the morning so that I can get that game for my partner before they sell out of copies. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you just shooting the shit with me for a while. And we will be back, as far as I know, on Sunday with another show with potentially more politics than today. What? Amazing. All right. I wish you all a very merry gender and a good night. Yeah, true. Very merry gender and a happy new beer. A happy new queer. A very merry gender to you and a happy new queer. Okay, I'm gonna go watch.